With the 2026 NFL Draft officially over, the Las Vegas Raiders have one of maybe my absolute favorite draft this year, which I'll get into in a little bit, but now officially adding Fernando Mendoza, the Raiders are hoping they can dig themselves out of being unfortunately one of the bottom of the barrel teams in the NFL, at least lately. So of course today, we are going to see if we can do just that. And over these next few seasons, with the help from this, what I think is a very good draft class, we are going to see if we can turn the Raiders into not only a good team for the first time in a while, unfortunately, but one of the best teams in the NFL, and possibly even win this team a Super Bowl with Fernando Mendoza. This should be a good one. So super quick before we get into this, leave a like if you enjoy the video. It really helps the channel. We got to 1,800 likes on the last Raiders rebuild I did, so if we can get to 2,000, I will do another 10-year rebuild. I haven't done a 10-year rebuild on the channel in a long time, so at least by my standards. So leave a like if you want to see that. Subscribe if you're new, trying to hit 100K soon. If you like Madden rebuilds, especially a lot of realistic ones coming soon, probably, with drafted players, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I don't plug that enough. And last thing, please take like 2 seconds and let me know what team you want me to do next down in the comments. I'm gonna count up every comment and I'll do a rebuild of whatever team gets suggested the most. Obviously think of who teams drafted and who you want to see. But anyway, enough plugging, enough shilling. Let's get into this. Now, like I said, the Raiders, I wouldn't say they had a perfect draft, and I do think they neglected a couple pretty big needs until very late in the draft. But I mean, Fernando Mendoza, good #1 overall pick. I'm saving the best for last year intentionally. Kieran Crawford I thought was a fine pick, good pass rusher, bad run defender. Mike Washington Jr., I thought he was a little overrated, but for where they got him, good speed, could develop here. Trey Zune, I liked a lot of the like mid-round linemen, and he was definitely one of them. Very good pass blocker, which the Raiders desperately need. Traden Stukes I love, and Dalton Johnson I liked a lot. Both Arizona DBs, and they of course got Jermod McCoy with I think the first pick of the 4th round. Absolute just swing for upside. Would have been possibly a top 10 pick if healthy, especially if he had played this year. Just the thing is, needs another knee surgery, is gonna miss his rookie year, and might not have a very long career, but I think if he can play, he will be very, very good. So, we are not gonna play him at all for this first year, obviously. I do love this Raiders secondary now. It's very deep. However, of course, I wish they added a receiver in the 3rd round, or at least at some point earlier than they did. I would say in the 4th round, I think that would have been the sweet spot, but again, the McCoy pick was better. And defensive tackle, they picked, what's his name, Ben Cleveland from NC State, but I mean, that's it. So yeah, would have picked maybe Elijah Surratt in the 3rd instead of Kieran Crawford, although that might not age well because Elijah Surratt went to the Ravens and they don't develop receivers. Anyway, I love the Raiders draft, but we have to make it matter. I loved the Raiders draft last year and they didn't play any of them. Speaking of not playing, we're not going to play Fernando Mendoza for this first year, as I don't think the Raiders will. I mean, they signed Kirk Cousins for a reason, but year 2, we're going to set our guys free, him and McCoy. So I'm excited. Let's get into this. We'll get to the mid-season point of this year and we'll see how we do. But all right, I actually just decided to get straight to the end of the year instead of the mid-season. We go 5-12. That's about fair. Kirk Cousins was okay, at least had more touchdown passes than picks. Ashton Genty, almost 1,200 yards, 4 per carry, 12 touchdowns. 1,000 yards for Bowers, only 1 receiving touchdown. Ooh, Tyler Linderbaum wasn't great. 9 sacks allowed from center. Okay. But Nakobe Dean led the team in tackles, 11 TFLs for Crosby, 15.5 sacks for Max Crosby, 6 from Adam Butler, only 4.5 for Pay, 1 for Kuntz. I wanted to get Crawford playing time. He got 0 sacks, not even half. All right, that's tough. I don't think our edge outside of Max Crosby issues are resolved yet, unfortunately. But 3 picks for Stokes, 2 for Dean, and then 1 for 5 different players. But let's see, were we up there for any award? Okay, Crosby at 4 for Defensive Player of the Year. Well, Genty at 2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, but not... Were there any actual rookies up here? Carnell Tate, so I guess he kind of wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Chris Johnson wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Traden Stukes at number 3, though. We'll take that. I don't have many rookies created yet, but still, good to see a Raider make the list. But all right, I just want to get through this year quick, because obviously no Mendoza or McCoy yet. So let's get get into this first off season. Probably not gonna go too crazy in free agency, but we'll hope to have a good draft. The Patriots beat the Cardinals in the Super Bowl. If y'all didn't watch my draft grades video, at least my first round grades video, I think the Cardinals overall had my least favorite draft. I was even lower on Chase Basantis, who I don't have created yet here. That was, I don't think they're making the Super Bowl this year, I'll say that. If they do, I would be very surprised, but I don't think we're gonna bring any of these guys back. Jordan Meredith, and then a bunch of depth. I think we're okay. If Meredith was interested, then sure, but he isn't. But we actually have 140 million in cap space. And of course, free agency's mid, as it always is in year one in franchise. Is there anyone we could sign here? Ooh, Jervon Dexter's here? That might be the move. We need defensive tackle desperately. We're probably also gonna draft one. Ooh, why do the Texans want him? Oh, well, okay, not trying to break the realism too much, but I still need to create Caden McDonald. Could go for Jalen Redmond instead if we don't get Dexter, but I think that's all we're gonna do in free agency for this year, so let's sign him. He does sign with us. Okay, cool. I would have maybe wanted to sign a receiver just because I don't love our receiving core still, but we'll wait for next year, a better free agent class, hopefully. Still, one of my big wishes for Madden in general is the ability to edit contracts and edit dev traits outside of franchise. Again, I know you can do it in franchise, but it makes free agency in year one so unbelievably terrible. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 5. Top 5 pick once again. I mean, not quite number 1, but the Browns, they drafted as well as they did, and they still have the number 1 pick. That's rough. I didn't even focus scout any of the receivers this year. I don't love how they look. I mean, maybe either Smart or McKinney is pretty good. I kind of lean Smart. He looks better. Unless McKinney's faster? No. Might go in with one in round 2. Von Dunlap looks very good. That'll probably be the move. Round 1, though. Lucas Hall looks good at tackle, but he's not a scheme fit. He might be so good that we have to take him, though. Like, I think he's a top 10 talent. Maybe. He looks worse after I focus scouted him. Maybe not. This could be a trade down spot because defensive tackle is still a need, but we can take that later. Although this is a horrible defensive tackle class. This is a rough draft for all of our needs. Don't need DB anymore at all, which is kind of crazy to say as the Raiders. Hell, I might even move Stukes back to safety and move on from Jeremy Chin soon. Like, he's still good, but he is 28. That's not too... I honestly thought he was older. Anyway, at 5, you know what? I am gonna trade back. Let's trade back to like 12, somewhere around there. Is anyone interested? No. The Eagles are. That's only 4 spots though. But all right, we are gonna trade 5 and 101 for 9 and 41. We're gonna trade that 4th round pick up a lot. And then at 9, let's go with one of the tackles. I guess we still have to make the decision. It's either scheme fit and worse player or not scheme fit but better player. Who's younger? I guess Hall is by a little bit. We'll go Hall. Rank 13, got him at 9. Normal development. Well, tough first pick. This is honestly just a horrible draft class for us. I might trade out of it with one of these 2nd round picks. Although there is a decent pass rusher, Dorian Stewart. He doesn't look bad. There's a good guard, Mike Raymond. Yeah, I don't think wait, has a single receiver gone? I think 1 did, maybe 2 actually, but not many of them. Oh, 3, the slot receiver went. Well, he was probably pretty good. Yeah, he went at 34 to the Saints. Well, let's take a chance on Dorian Stewart. Might have normal dev, but at least has a finesse moves. It's just such a hard position to draft in Madden that even if he's ranked like 60 or something, this might still be worth it. He's ranked 23 and hit it. Why was he still here? Amazing pick, especially again with Kieran Crawford getting 0.0 sacks last year. That's pretty solid. Probably gonna start for us. And if the guard's still here, I might just make this pick too. Mike Raymond? I don't know if I want to spend a 2nd round pick on guard. We'll wait. Okay, this one I'm gonna trade away for hopefully a better class. First from the Rams, Bills. Who does worse in simulation? I feel like they both do well. Let's go Bills. But round 3, man, there were like 3 good receivers and they all went really quick for that reason because there were no good ones. Maybe Sanchez is decent, but I wouldn't bet on it. Let's just go Cliff Gates. Elite speed, ran a 4.84 at defensive tackle, rank 58. We'll take it, honestly. But all right, here's how the draft went. It was okay-ish. Lucas Hall, of course, no dev trait, but 76 overall, he's pretty good. Would probably go up in overall at guard too. Not that we're gonna play him there, but at least goes up to a 77. Makes me feel a little bit better about it if we ever need him to play guard. And then Dorian Stewart, 74 overall, pretty good player. I wish he wasn't already 23, but it's fine. fine. And then Cliff Gates, 71 overall, he's pretty good. And outside of that, those three, we really didn't get much else. I mean, we got okay depth, but wasn't great. And I mean, there wasn't really much we could have done. We maybe should have taken Dunlap in the first round and like Mike Raymond round 2. I guess that would have been the better move, but we did probably the next best thing, so we'll take it. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into year 2. Up to an 81 overall. We're not looking bad. And of course, this is where things get more fun. We are going to be starting Fernando Mendoza. It looks like Kirk Cousins just retired, so that works out. That could be what happens. And like I said, I wanted to add a receiver this offseason. It was just such an unlucky offseason for receivers. Now, I mean, we could trade for one if there's like a decent one on the trade block, but Pat Bryant, Kyle Williams, Keon Coleman, we'll stick with what we got. And then our defense is looking pretty solid. Again, very deep secondary now. I like that we added 2 defensive tackles this offseason, something I'm really surprised the Raiders didn't do in real life, but I guess better late than never here. And then we are going to start Stewart at edge. I think the Crawford pick is fine. I didn't love the Kwity Paye signing though. I do like Malcolm Kuntz if he could actually stay healthy, which I wouldn't bank on at this point. And I am a little bit worried about our offensive line. I mean, it's good on paper. It's just, we'll see how it does in simulation. Trey Zune's only a 75, and Hall's very much not a scheme fit, so he scares me a little bit. But anyway, let's get into this year. We'll get to the midseason point, and I am excited to see how we do. We might not be amazing yet, but there's a chance. But hey, we are 4-2 at the midseason. We'll take that. We are already, I guess, ahead of schedule, if you want to call it that, because we are only an 82 overall. Like, that's a step up from where we were, but that's still definitely not great. I guess we're doing better than the Panthers, only a 79. But yeah, we're definitely overperforming. Mendoza's doing pretty well so far. I don't know how committed to this offensive playbook I am. We'll see though. It is the Seahawks offensive playbook, but it definitely doesn't do as well as the Seahawks offense was in real life. Ooh, Lucas Hall, rough start to the year. Already 8 sacks allowed from right tackle. Not great. Maybe he is a guard. I don't know who he would play at tackle, but I mean, Trey Zune, maybe. He has played there, obviously. That's where he played in college. We might have to do that. I don't know. It's still early. I don't feel like we have to make any major weird changes like that. We'll just leave it how it is. But again, good start. But for re-signings, we have Jeremy Chin, Teron Johnson, Michael Mayer, Trey Tucker, Connor Hayward, and that's it for starters. We have the 5th year for Brock Bowers. We'll obviously pick that up. It's only 14 mil. Okay. But Jeremy Chin, we're probably not going to bring back. We've kind of replaced him. Teron Johnson, same deal. Michael Mayer, we need a tight end too with how much we play. Brock Bowers in the slot. I just don't know if that's going to be Michael Mayer or someone else. Probably not Michael Mayer if he's not interested. Also, we're probably not going to bring Trey Tucker back if he's not interested. I mean, he's not that expensive though. I would go player friendly, 3 years, 23. Doesn't take it, but I mean, we could bring him back. We'll see at the end of the year. But I mean, I'll resign some of the depth just so okay, Aiden O'Connell rejects us. Oh no. But all right, let's get to the end of the year. And I mean, I think I'm okay with whatever happens. If we completely just choke the season and go like 5-12, that's fine. We get a high pick. If we barely miss the playoffs, at least we know something good is in there. Something's going right. And if we make the playoffs, that's cool. We'll see. Okay, we go 11-6 and we make the playoffs. Holy. I was just saying, this Seahawks offensive playbook isn't great, but we ended up with the 4th best offense in the league with Jack Besh as our wide receiver 1. That's insane. Also, he went up to an 80. He's not even that bad anymore. I mean, he's ranked 63 for receivers and he's our wide receiver 1, but still, at least a low end 2, technically. He's kind of our wide receiver 2 in a way. But Fernando Mendoza, 3,600 yards, 27 touchdowns, 12 picks. Very good, I guess, rookie year because he didn't play at all as a rookie, an actual rookie. Went up to an 84, developed really well, ranked 20 already. We'll take that. Ashton Genty, 1,500 yards, 5.2 per carry, 15 touchdowns. And Besh was our wide receiver 1, or at least receiver 1 and wide receiver 1. But I'm just surprised he outproduced Brock Bowers. More yards, more touchdowns, more receptions. Got close to 1,000. but we had three receivers get at least 850 yards. Am I okay? I didn't like the way I said that either. At least 850 yards sounds weird. There's something wrong with me, but good production is what I'm trying to say. The blocking got a little worse in the second half of the year. I mean, Hall got better, but Zune and Miller didn't do great. But Quay Walker led the team in tackles, 127, 124 for Dean. I don't know how Walker led the team, but sure. But 15 TFLs for Crosby. Sacks, though, weren't great. 8.5 for Stewart as a rookie. That's a number 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year type of season. That's not great, because he is going to be 24 already, and he only has star dev. We'll hope he can win Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's going to be tough, though. But 8.5 for Dexter. That was a good signing. Only 7.5 for Crosby, though. But 2 picks for Porter, and then 1 for 4 different players. Not many picks. MVP goes to Joe Burrow. Mendoza up here? No. Tyreek Hill wins Offensive Player of the Year. Classic wide receiver 3 on the Bengals. Whoever it is does pretty well. Genty at 5, though. Stephon Diggs on the Texans up here. And Marvin Mims up here. All right, sure. But Defensive Rookie of the Year, who is it going to be? Nelson Moore wins it for the Bengals. Dorian Stewart at 2. I called it, unfortunately. I wish I didn't. I shouldn't have said anything, but whatever. Cliff Gates at number 8. But of course, we are in the playoffs, and we are actually a higher overall team than the Steelers here. We are an 85 to their 84. We went up a ton in the second half of the year. We have a legit roster now. We are like 4 overall better than the worst teams and only 2 worse than the best teams. 3, I guess. The Lions are an 88. That's not bad. We'll spend coach points. But I mean, let's see if we can already get the Raiders their first playoff win since... Are they one of the teams that hasn't won a playoff game since like 2003 or something? 2002 AFC Championship game. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that was 2003, early 2003. And I mean, oh yeah, the Raiders did make the playoffs in the 2021 season, so I guess it hasn't been too long. We're in 2027 at this point, or I guess we're in early 2028. Ignore what it says at the top. We're 1 year in the future. So can we get the first Raiders playoff win in 25 years? If not, we still have a lot of chances, but we do. We beat the Steelers in a low-scoring game, 14-13. That makes me feel better about our defense that was like good, maybe better than it should have been, but still not great. But I mean, if it was better than it should have been, we'll take that. I mean, it's allowing 11.5 points per game in the last 2. That's crazy. Only allowed 10 versus the Seahawks and 13 versus the Steelers. But we are going to be facing the Texans in the divisional. We're both 11-6, both an 85 overall. It gives us the edge, even though we have an 87 offense, 83 defense. They have an 83 offense, 88 defense. It still gives us the green box around our overall. I mean, we made this team good pretty quick. I didn't even have to do much, at least not yet. But all right, enough yapping. Can we move on to the conference championship in only year 2 of a Raiders rebuild? We can. We win 24-20 against the Texans, and we are going to be playing the Buffalo Bills in the conference championship at only 9-8. Ooh, I hope we win this game because we of course have their first round pick. I guess either way, it's not going to be a good one. But I mean, that makes this an even more important game for both teams. I mean, I think there's a more important thing at stake here, making it to the Super Bowl, but that's just an added layer to it. But I guess either way, if we win, that'll make our original first round pick worse, so it doesn't really matter in terms of picks. But can we make the Super Bowl in only year 2? I don't see us listed. We do lose 17-10. That's okay though. This isn't a Super Bowl caliber team yet. I mean, the Bills aren't either, but what else is new in Madden? A 9-8 low overall team in the Super Bowl. So no Super Bowl win for us this year, but we still have quite a few more chances here. Now let's see. For re-signings, do we want to bring anyone back? Some players might be more interested now that we had a good season. Yeah, Michael Mayer is more interested. He's interesting because he hasn't been that good, but I still believe in him. He's not listed as our tight end 1, but he is our number 1 inline tight end, at least 50% of the time, probably. No, more than that even. We'll see. If he takes neutral, 3 years, 31, that's fine. He does. Okay, I'm all right with that. Trey Tucker, again, I'll go neutral, but actually I'll go player friendly, but I'll bump it down a little bit. 3 years, 24. He doesn't take it, but that's fine. He's going to be hard to develop in Madden at already 26 with normal development. But we'll pick up the 5th year for Bowers, almost a 99 overall. We'll let everyone else go. And this year, I want a good free agent class. I don't even know what positions I necessarily want anymore. Probably receiver receiver, although we're possibly gonna draft one, and maybe guard, because Zune was not great, and maybe even a linebacker. Y'all could probably tell from the overall I had him at. I don't love Quay Walker, although he did get star development. Ooh, okay, I mean, it's an okay receiver free agent class. There is one receiver in Christian Watson, but he has 11 offers and he's not interested in us. Ooh, although with player friendly, that does get us the lead. I wouldn't mind that. How's the receiver draft class? Ooh, okay, it's good early, but we're not picking until 29, I think. I think all the good ones are gonna be gone. There's gonna be Noah Fitzsimmons, but that's it. Yeah, Christian Watson might be the move. Unless we want to move up and take Geraldo at like 15 or something if he's still there. Because what else do we really need to draft? Again, a guard, maybe another defensive tackle, and a linebacker, and that's about it. Maybe a safety. I might move Stukes back to slot corner. God, we have Stukes and Stokes. That just clicked with me. That's confusing. Oh yeah, Christian Wilkins. Let's bring him back. That went well for sure. You know what? We were in the conference championship last year. Let's fill our needs through free agency. I mean, we still have 60 mil left over. I want to go for someone else. I just don't know who. Maybe Leonard Williams? You know what? Yeah. 2 years, 46 for Leonard Williams. Again, let's fill our needs through free agency so in the draft we can just go BPA with every pick. I do think we're going to trade up for one of the receivers. It's kind of gluttonous if we do that. Because, I mean, we're really not going to be throwing our wide receiver the ball for a couple years, probably. Because our top 4 receiving options are going to be Watson, Besh, Bowers, and Mayer. But it would be fun. So these 4 players, I really hope we get all 4. We do. What a free agent class. But all right, this year in the draft, we of course pick at 29 and 32. That's like worst case scenario for our picks, but it's fine. Again, I think we are gonna trade into the top 15. There are a lot of good receivers, so even if we don't trade up for one of the top 5ers, one of the 2 top 5 talents, there are still 3 first round talents, or at least 2 that I think are in the range we can get. I would prefer Blair because he's a scheme fit and a year younger than Alonzo, but Alonzo isn't bad. But Geraldo and Dockery look very good, and they're both slots. Interesting. All the good receivers we've seen so far have been slots. I don't know. That's weird. But let's see who's going to be the first one that goes. There still isn't one off the board. Okay, there we go. Lopez to the Titans. Ross to the Jags. Okay, now they're all going quick. Dockery to the Panthers. I'm going to go until there is only 1 first round talent and Geraldo left. I'll go until Alonzo goes because I think he would go first. There goes Patterson. Is one of them gonna go? Okay, there goes Alonzo. We'll trade up with the 49ers and I think we'll take Cesar Geraldo. I mean, we could also think about Zach Blair even. He could be a top 10 talent and he's a year younger and I think he has a better chance of having hidden dev. But nah, I think we should just go with the guaranteed top 5. But all right, kind of a confusing trade, but we're trading our 2 firsts and a 4th for 19 and 51 from the 49ers. So they move back like 10 spots, swap their 2nd for a 1st, and pick up a 4th. Almost simmed over the pick. But Cesar Geraldo out of Arizona State. We'll take him. Hoping for hidden dev. Rank 5. Does have hidden. Okay, good. I was a little worried, I'm not gonna lie. Just the slot and playmaker receivers always make me think normal, obviously, because most of them have normal. But round 2, ooh, I think the running back I focus scouted is pretty good. I don't know why I focus scouted a running back. I was just struggling to think of what we would want to draft. He's pretty good though. Probably not going to go with another receiver, but there is a good guard, Dylan Peterson. That was another one of our focus scouts, and the 3rd was a tackle, I think. Oh yeah, it was a tackle, but he's gone. Okay, Patterson's projected 133. Wallace is projected 88. Do I really want to go with a running back with our 2nd pick, an RB2? Let's go with the safety. This guy looks really good. Dante Claiborne. Honestly, Rouse looks solid too, and Taylor White. I think Claiborne looks a little better though. Good speed, great change of direction, only 21 years old, A awareness. I would guess like 20-ish, 14, okay. No dev trait though, damn it. But our second round pick now. Oh, well, never mind. No running back. I mean, another Colt, that's weird. Colt O'Sullivan, he looks pretty good too. At this point, I might just wait for a running back though. It looks like he is the last one. Well, nah, Will Logan, Victor Gonzalez, they look fine. I might trade this pick for a pick next year too. A 2 next year, a 4 this year, a 7 next year. What an offer. The Giants Giants are offering us just straight up pick 65 for pick whatever ours is. 61 or something? Nothing added, just straight up. I love the Madden trade logic. All these offers are horrible. I guess I'll just take the one from the Rams. But all right, let's go Dylan Peterson. Ranked 39, got him at 93. Very good guard. Does have hidden, thankfully. And end around 4. Now we'll go with one of the running backs. Why not? They look about the same. Oh, just Logan's 2 years younger. Okay, I'll go Logan. The other one might be better, but Logan's 2 years younger. Sure. Rank 84. Okay, I don't know what the point of me showing that for the video was, but sure. Obviously normal dev. But here's how the draft went for us this year. I mean, we're already at the point in the rebuild where I don't know that we drafted any day one starters. Like, I guess maybe Peterson, cause Zune was so bad, but that's it. Like, Geraldo's gonna be wide receiver 3, who isn't gonna play for us. Maybe a little bit. Claiborne was more of a future pick, just BPA pick again, but you know, with normal dev, I don't know. We'll see if he develops. And then these picks were pretty good. Gallery's a 72 with hidden development. Maybe X Factor superstar or something. He is a mid-ish round speed rusher defensive tackle, so we'll see. And then I don't know why I picked these two, because neither of them are scheme fits, but well, Reed is, but yeah, that's fine. We're just a 3-4, so Sam isn't listed on our depth chart, but whatever. Either way, this was a horrible draft class overall. Also, 2 of the 3 best players had the last name Geraldo. Is there a single one in the NFL? I don't think so. But yeah, there was an 81 overall, then straight down to 77 overalls. So, I mean, we did well. It said Geraldo was 5th, but I mean, really, he's tied for 2nd in overall from this draft. So, we did as well as we could have, I'm pretty sure. So, we'll take it. But all right, heading into year 3, this is where we start going for it. We are an 85 overall. We have an 88 overall offense. We have definitely set it up for Fernando Mendoza to succeed here. Our defense is only an 83, but it definitely outperformed that last year. We'll hope it does again, but we've definitely invested more in the offense. I mean, some of these guys we already had. A lot of them we did, but we've invested in receiver and the O-line a little bit. And I mean, I really like our defensive line at the very least. The most important part of the defense, debatably. I'm hoping Jermod McCoy can get superstar dev, by the way. He's still only 22, so he should still develop pretty well. I mean, he is ranked number 6. He's almost a top 10 corner, ranked 16. Also, is it announced what number he's gonna wear? No. Okay, cool. We'll give him 4 for round 4, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, he's coming along pretty nicely. But all right, let's get into this season. We'll get to the mid-season point once again, and we should be pretty good. I would guess like 4-3, 3-4, something like that. We should maybe be a little better, but I know Madden simulation, so we'll see. That's my guess. Man, what the hell did I click? I don't think I've ever seen this before. Son, what's happening? But all right, you know what? That was a perfect call. I said 3-4 or 4-3, and we are perfectly in between that, 3-3. I know this game too well. Our offense is mid this year, and our defense is kind of bad now that we actually have a good roster. Go figure. Mendoza's doing pretty well. I don't know. I'm almost tempted to change the playbooks. It's tough because we've done well so far. I just don't trust them still for some reason. So, okay start to the year. At an 86 overall, we are tied for 4th, so we should be a little better. But for re-signings, we have Tyler Linderbaum, Jackson Powers-Johnson, Nakobe Dean, Eric Stokes, Quay Walker, Kobe Bryant, who I signed out of free agency, the 5th-year option for Ashton Genty. What's kind of weird is Tyler Linderbaum is only asking like 16 mil a year. We'll do that. But Jackson Powers-Johnson is asking 20. We might re-sign him, but that's kind of expensive for a right guard, at least in Madden. Nakobe Dean I'll re-sign though, 3 years, 34. Eric Stokes will probably let go. Quay Walker, probably the rest of these guys. But all right, let's get to the end of this year, and we should have a very good second half to the season, better than we started. This easily should be a playoff team, at least based on roster talent. But all right, we go 8-9 and miss the playoffs. We got smoked by the Packers in week 18. Okay, wait, I want to see. We have an 89 offense, 85 defense. We have tied for the best offense in the league with the Seahawks and the Lions. And I think there was one more? No, maybe that was it. Our defense being not great makes sense. I mean, it should have been a little better maybe, but yeah, let's change this offensive playbook. I want to be more pass heavy. I know we have Ashton Genty, we have a very good running back, but I want to use these receiving options and Fernando Mendoza more. Let's go Bengals. I've been going with like the Bills and Rams a lot lately. Should I? We'll go Bills actually. I want to be a little more pass heavy. At least I think it is. Yeah. Also, it said we were ranked 8th for points per game, but we're actually ranked 11 because nothing works in this game. Anyway, let's check out our season stats. 3,400 yards for Mendoza, 26 touchdowns, 9 picks. He's been good, but he hasn't had like an insane season so far, especially by Madden standards. But Ashton Genty, 1,400 yards, 5.4 per carry, 10 touchdowns. Mike Washington was pretty good as the RB2 in the few carries he got. But Christian Watson, 950 yards, 900 for Bowers, 860 for Besh. We should hopefully get these receiving numbers up next year. I want it to be more flashy. But Peterson was better than Zune at left guard at least, and the rest of the line was really good. Nakobe Dean, 141 tackles, led the team though, 14 TFLs for Crosby, 12 sacks for Crosby, led the team, 11 for Williams. That was a good signing. I hope he doesn't retire, but he very well could. 7.5 for Stewart, and picks 3 for Dalton Johnson, 2 for Dean, 1 for 3 different players. How has Jermod McCoy done so far? 2 picks in 2 years, 15 pass deflections. That's really good for Madden. That's like getting 30 in real life in 2 years. But Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. No Mendoza? Really? See what I'm saying? Like, those are good stats, but not even enough to make top 10 for MVP. Jonathan Taylor wins Offensive Player of the Year, though. Harold Landry wins Defensive Player of the Year. Josh Uche at number 3. I love Madden. Nothing wrong with it. Max Crosby at number 9. Cesar Geraldo at 10 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He had like 200 receiving yards or something. And nobody for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Did we have any defensive rookies? I guess we didn't really start many players this year, so makes sense. But all right, let's get into yet another off season. Let's hope we don't underperform next year, and we'll hope this is our year. We're getting to the point where the Titans are in the Super Bowl. I mean, they're still probably an 82 overall, but if they can do it, we can too. But we'll pick up the 5th year for Ashton Genty. Jackson Powers Johnson, he was pretty good in the second half of the year, right? Only allowed 1 more sack, but I don't know if I want to pay him 20 mil a year. I think we can just draft a right guard and he'll play about the same for a lot cheaper. But yeah, Stokes, Walker, I think we're just gonna let everyone go. I guess we can re-sign Walker. He's cheap. A lot cheaper than he was in real life. I still can't believe they paid Quay Walker more than Nakobe Dean. That's crazy to me. Ooh, thankfully Leonard Williams did not retire. That's huge. Unfortunately, Colton Miller did retire though. I did expect that. I'm still disappointed though. But I mean, at least we have Charles Grant. I mean, that could be much worse. I think, now that I'm saying this, it's gonna curse him, but I think he's gonna be a really good player in real life. Again, don't know why the hell the Raiders didn't play him instead of Stone Forsythe. Pete Carroll special, but whatever. Ooh, wait, I almost called it. Darren Gallery has superstar, not quite X Factor, but I mean, I won't complain about that. That's huge. I mean, he's still buried as the 4th defensive tackle, but still. But all right, in free agency, let's look at maybe guard. We could try to find a cheaper one than Powers Johnson, and edge rusher, probably. Okay, Jalen Waddle's the best free agent. There's Tucker Kraft, Sam Darnold, Jonathan Grenard. I still don't think I put him on the Eagles. I was gonna say I've been slacking, but no, I've been too busy creating the drafted players, which takes forever. Looks like he was on the 49ers this year. That could be a decent signing though. We'll go very player friendly, but bump it down a year. We'll go 2 years. We'll see. The Browns also want him. I would hope he would pick us over the Browns, but you never know. And I mean, that's all we really need from free agency. There just really isn't anyone else that helps us. We'll sign Sean Cummins, elite name, at guard. Ooh, Traden Stukes got superstar. He gets superstar in every rebuild I do with him for some reason. I don't know why he got superstar. I guess the TFLs, but his coverage stats aren't great. But anyway, we'll just go for Jonathan Grenard and Sean Cummins. I'm really hoping we get Grenard. I don't really care if we get Cummins or not, because I mean, we can draft linemen. But okay, Cummins signs. Grenard doesn't make his decision yet. He doesn't reject us, but he doesn't accept it either. All right, we'll try it one more time. Yeah, we don't get him. He goes to the Browns. We have so much cap space. You know what? Wait, did I check yet if Max Crosby retired? I doubt he did. No, he didn't. Okay, good. Yeah, he's only 31. Do we want to just keep rocking with Stewart? He's been fine. This could be a breakout year for him. We just have so much cap space that I feel like we're wasting. Hold on. First, who's on the trade block? I might as well check every position. But okay, at edge, it's not great. So, we are gonna trade a 1st and a 2nd for Jared Verse from the Rams. Is this enough? I think it is. A 1 and a 2. This is a pretty high one. This is pick 11, so we should have a lethal pass rush now. between him and Max Crosby. Did Jared Verse... Oh, he comes with an upgrade point, but did he just get extended? I hope he didn't, because that's rough for the Rams if he did. No, this is the last year of his deal, so that makes sense to trade him. Maybe they can't afford him. We'll make that excuse for why they would trade him. But all right, we still have 1 second-round pick where I guess we'll just go BPA again. We might look at a safety, maybe. We'll try to get one with Superstar, or try to get one to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, maybe. Something like that. And maybe like a linebacker. We're looking pretty solid, though. I would argue this team is even better than the overall. Like, we have a good roster. And, you know, ironically, I think that saved us cap space. That wasn't really my goal, but if there's no one to sign, there's no one to sign. That's tough. So, you know what? Let's go for a couple more players. Evan Williams, Dontavian Wicks, Ennis Rakestraw. Just some positions where we kind of needed depth. Not so much safety, but Williams could be a starter, actually. And then Wicks and Rakestraw are depth. So, 3 NFC North players, or, well, Wicks isn't anymore, but is in a Packers jersey in this picture still, so kinda. So that makes me feel better about this free agent class, for sure. But all right, now in the draft, of course, no first-round pick. We do still have a second-round pick, though. And I mean, do we have any needs? I guess we could maybe trade up for a lineman, but I mean, we kind of solidified our O-line. Well, maybe a right guard still, and I want a depth tackle, or maybe a guard we can convert to tackle. I mean, we can kick Zune back to tackle. Let's get to round 2. Not gonna trade up. There is actually a decent... Oh, okay, well, there's a decent edge rusher, but because Madden never does anything right, they just left 3 4DNs at edge still, so 313-pound Miles Lindsley, and Jay Kirkpatrick at 293, and Terrence White at 286. I mean, that can maybe play at edge. 293, 286, 310, 291, 294. Like, half of them are 3 4DNs. They just left them when they made edge a position. We could take Lindsley, though, and obviously move him to defensive tackle. Either that or the safeties do look pretty good. Who's the most athletic out of these 3? I guess Fernandez? Maybe Medina? None of them are crazy athletic, though. Okay, how about the O-line? Henry, and that's it. Would he still be there round 2? What's our 3rd round pick ranked? Like 75? 76? Somewhere around there? I'm just gonna go Joshua Medina. He looks fine. Better than any other option we have here. Ranked 28. I should have predicted, because it would have been something like that. Does have hidden, though. But round 3, hopefully that guard is still here. We maybe shouldn't have risked it. We shouldn't have risked it. All right, cool. Well, that's it for linemen this year. I'm not taking a tackle. They are never good outside of the first round. Even the pass protector guards don't look good. PJ Landry might be good, but he's not a scheme fit. Yeah, maybe don't follow in my footsteps. I don't know. Brandon Glenn looks pretty good at receiver, because that's what we need. Let's just go best player available. That might be either Mello Sally or, again, that receiver. He's interesting. He has A tackle, but C block, shed C to F pursuit. And I thought he would be a nose, but he's only 285. I guess he is listed as a nose for some reason. I don't know if he's great. Wait, Glenn's 143. What was Sally? 142. Okay, I guess we'll go Sally first. Rank 75, got him at 75. Weird. Does have hidden, though. Maybe X Factor. We'll hope. And we'll go Brandon Glenn. Sure, I don't love the F spec catch, F deep route, but sure. Elite Excel, rank 47, why not? We'll take it if we have to. But all right, here's how the draft went. It was okay. Just really not anyone at positions we needed, unfortunately. Again, it feels like that's been the case in damn near every draft we've done. This year was a pretty good draft class, but we picked at 11 in the 2nd round, right? So the best player who was available to us was a 23-year-old corner. I guess we could have taken a corner, Jalen McCray, but that wasn't what I was looking at. There was a receiver, a running back. Yeah, just not really anything we were looking for. Maybe we should have just taken Lindsley, but nah, I think we did okay. Just maybe should have taken Henry, but he's not even that good. 73 overall. He was probably the very end of the 1st to 2nd round talents. He was probably like 50 something. So I'm surprised he went that much earlier than he was projected. But either way, Medina, he's fine. Sally, he's fine. Glenn, he's fine. I guess Henry was probably ranked in the 40s if Glenn was ranked in the 40s. So I guess he went in the right range. But man, I should have maybe thought about trading one of these picks for a guard. Maybe we'll trade a pick next year for a guard, because it's a big need on a team that really doesn't have many other needs. Either that or we'll trade for a tackle and move Grant to right tackle and haul into guard. That could be the move. That would probably be more expensive, though. We'll see. I'll scout the trade block through the preseason, and if no one something interesting shows up, we'll find our own tackle. Probably. Ooh, okay. I was gonna trade a 4th for Jack Nelson from the Falcons. For some reason, in my rosters, he always develops into a good tackle. He's ranked 22 for tackles. I feel like a 4th is about fair, but would I want to do a 3rd? Could we maybe get a 4th back? No. Could we get a 5th back? 6th even? No. Are they even gonna take a 3rd? I don't know if I want to do that. I'm going to be honest. Maybe we won't trade for a tackle unless we want like Chase Lunt or Jalen Travis or something. Is there one with like Star Dev? Boyce, but he's only 73. We'll see. But all right, here we are heading into year 4. We couldn't trade for a guard. There just wasn't one that could have been traded for a reasonable price. They were all either too expensive or teams didn't have backups or both. So this is the line we got. We at least moved Zune to right guard. He should do fine there. I'm more so worried about left tackle now. Again, I think Grant's good, but will he actually play well? We'll find out. And then the defense. I'm gonna say it again. This pass rush should be ridiculous. It was good last year. I wish I could go back and check where it ranked. I forgot to do that in terms of sacks, but this year should be better or we're changing the defensive playbook. We have an 87 overall defense, 89 offense, 88 overall team. We are looking very good. We didn't make a whole lot of changes this offseason, but some big additions. So where do we rank for overall? We are, is there an 89? No, we are tied as the highest overall team. And our defense is pretty solid now. It's like top 5 to 10-ish in overall, somewhere in there. Our offense is tied as the best with like 4 different teams. So this should be a very good season. Let's get to the mid-season point. Once again, I'm a little bit, unfortunately, prepared to be disappointed knowing Madden. But if we aren't as good as we should be, at least by the end of the year, we're gonna change, I mean, maybe both playbooks. We might even change the offense again, because I don't know how the Bills offense does really. I feel like every time I've used it, it's been mid from what I remember. For the millionth time, we'll see. All right, we are 5-2 at the midseason. We'll take that for sure. However, we're ranked 19th for offense and 18th for defense. We definitely should be better, but I mean, if we're 5-2, we'll definitely leave it for now. We have a D-line breakout. I don't know, maybe Verse getting X Factor or something? It is, okay. Oh, he just gets it. Okay, I like that. The amount of tackles for loss and sacks by Jared Verse will, whatever that said, something about awards. But all right, let's just get straight to re-signings. Who are we gonna have to re-sign this year? Okay, of course, Brock Bowers and Jared Verse, Jermod McCoy, Traden Stukes, Dalton Johnson, Jack Besh, Javon Dexter, Darian Porter, Charles Grant, Trey Zune, Leonard Williams. That's a lot of starters. Also Connor Hayward and Chase McLaughlin. Wow. All right, we'll start just from the top. Brock Bowers, honestly not that expensive. 4 years, 85. I'll even up it a little bit just to guarantee it. 4 years, 87. He takes it. Beautiful. Jared Verse, he's a little more expensive, but think about what defensive player contracts are going to look like in 2028 or 9 or wherever we are. He's only wanting 40 mil a year. I would almost guarantee Jared Verse is going to get more than that. He doesn't take it. Jermod McCoy, I want to keep. We'll go 7 years, 187, even though he's not interested. He does take it. Cool. That's not too expensive. Traden Stukes, 3 years, 26. That's cheap. Dalton Johnson, 3 years, 22. That's cheap. So now our cap space is going kind of quick, but I'm glad we invested in this season, kind of. We'll go 3 years for Javon Dexter. Porter's cheap, only like 7.5 mil a year. Jack Besh is cheap. He's not interested, but very player friendly. He's less than 10 mil a year. He doesn't take it though. I mean, we could find a different receiver. And then the rest of the guys we'll have to figure out at the end of the year. But I mean, I'm not too worried. I guess we should prioritize Verse, obviously, and maybe Williams, but he'll probably retire. I don't know. I like the start to the year. And like I said, if one of the sides of the ball underperforms for us, we'll definitely change the playbook. Again, maybe both. But all right, we go 12-5, and we make the playoffs after a disappointing year last year. We bounce back from that and get a first round bye at only 12-5. Definitely wouldn't have made it, or at least a first round bye if we were in the NFC. The Lions didn't get a first round bye at 13-4, and there were 3 9-8 teams in the AFC that made it. But Fernando Mendoza, almost 4,400 yards, 33 touchdowns, 11 picks. His best year so far. Probably not not a coincidence that it's the most pass heavy we've been. We weren't not pass heavy last year. We just really emphasized short passes apparently, because Mendoza was like 10th in attempts, but like 28th in yards for some reason. But Ashton Genty, 1,350 yards, 5 per carry, 14 touchdowns. He's been very good. Over 1,200 yards for Bowers, 11 touchdowns, 1,100 for Christian Watson, 800 for Besh, 600 for Mayer. You know, we could let Besh go and just have Geraldo be our wide receiver too. I mean, that was the plan when we drafted him. I feel like we should. But blocking, Charles Grant wasn't great. Trey Zune, 9 sacks from right guard. All right, well, he's getting benched for the playoffs. But Nakobe Dean, 129 tackles, led the team, 13 TFLs for Verse, 12 for Crosby, and sacks. 13.5 for Verse, 11.5 for Crosby, 9 for Williams. We'll take it. How many did Dexter got half a sack? Oh, he barely played. Why did Gates start over him? I don't know, but McCoy 2 picks and then 1 for Johnson and Stukes. What? I started Dexter. I put Gates as our rush defensive tackle and Dexter as our nose. Do we never use a nose? Or, you know, our starting number 2 defensive tackle? How does that work? All right, well, either way, I think we're changing the defensive playbook. Where did we rank for points allowed? 17th with one of the better defenses and 7th for offensive points per game. So yeah, at least we're changing the defensive playbook. We will go... Should we just go Rams? We will. Why not? We'll try it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Ooh, Medina developed really quick. And Sally. Ooh. Maybe he does have X Factor. We'll see. We also found... I don't know if y'all saw him. I practice squatted him. I don't know if he's still on our practice squad. He is? Okay. He has 4 upgrades. But Josh Beltran, he has superstar dev. I didn't mean to check it, but I moved him to running back because he's 5'9", 195. That's kind of a running back build, and he looked better as a running back than his receiving ability. He has a 99 speed, but he went down in overall. I just thought it was a bigger need for us because we had like 12 receivers, but he's interesting, especially with those 4 upgrade points. I don't know if we'll ever play him much, but we could somewhere. Anyway, let's see who we're going to be taking on in the divisional. It is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, an 89 overall. In a lot of the rebuilds I've done lately, they have not been as good of an overall. And they definitely don't do as well in this year's game as they have in years past. But they are looking good here. Kenneth Walker's a 99, which when I did my Chiefs rebuild, I got so many comments like, why do y'all have Kenneth Walker at a 94 overall in your rosters? Just wait and see. I want to see him behind an actual good O-line. I think assuming he stays healthy, y'all will get the vision after this season. And assuming the Chiefs line stays healthy, which that's kind of a big ask. But anyway, let's see if we can win our 4th playoff game of the rebuild. 3rd? Maybe 3rd. Either way, that's pretty good for the Raiders. Very good. Can we move on to the conference championship in year 4? We lose 17-14. Our defense did its job. Our offense just didn't show up. I don't know about the Bills' offensive playbook. You know what? We're not going to do that. The numbers were decent. We still didn't do as well as we should. I'm just going to go Bengals. Fuck it. Why not? Doesn't always do well, but it could with the options we have here. Now, I mean, Charles Grant might allowed 35 sacks, but we'll worry about that when we have to. But all right, for the rest of our re-signings, Jared Verse is the big one, obviously. We'll go... Man, do we have to go player friendly? This is at least more money than we offered him at the midseason, so I think he'll take it. 3 years, 125. He does. Okay. Besh, we'll let go. Crawford, Grant, we'll let go. So I guess we won't worry about that when we have to. He's not going to be on the team anymore. Although, again, I do like him. I think he's good. Trey Zune, hell no. Lucas Hall, oh, it's the 5th year. He's been pretty good lately, actually. At least relatively. Ooh, Maurice Dunn, he was just a random UDFA I signed with Star Dev, but he developed kind of well. Went up like 6 overall. Everyone else were probably good, but all right. Let's get into free agency. We can restructure deals if we need to, but we're probably going to look at a receiver. Like, Christian Watson's good, but he's he's not even really a true wide receiver 1, which I guess is fair because he's not our number 1 receiving option. He's kind of our 2. I don't know. I still think we are going to look at a receiver. Oh yeah, and do we still have Max Crosby? I didn't see our defense go down in overall, so I think we do. We do. No more Leonard Williams, though. He retired. That's fine. Roland Wallace got superstar. But in free agency... Okay, Amon-Ra St. Brown is here. We don't need another slot receiver, but I mean, he would work outside in Madden. That might be the move. We don't have the cap, but we can probably make it. Because I mean, if we don't get him, the next best option is just Jack Besh. Ooh, we can get a lead for St. Brown. That would be ridiculous. I know that makes the Geraldo signing or pick kind of useless, but like, I would rather just get a better receiver if we can. Like, either that, and we do still need a tackle and a guard, but I think we can draft that. Is there a good tackle this year? We're gonna draft a guard, but is there a tackle? Charles Grant's the best one. Asking 20 mil, I'm good. Damn near $1 million per sack allowed. That's great. Miles Hinton, I guess, will is that even really an upgrade? We could just try to develop Dunn or something. Let's see, can we get St. Brown, please? We can, okay. I mean, this offense is disgusting, but all right, that's all we're gonna do in free agency. Let's get to the draft, and I think we might spend every pick on this O-line, seriously, because what else do we need? I guess we could plan for the future at some positions. Maybe we'll take a linebacker and maybe like a future starting edge. I would say that could just be Stewart, but his deal's gonna be up soon, so probably just O-line, maybe a linebacker. But all right, in the draft, we pick at 27, and this is an interesting draft. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, our option is interesting, the choice we have to make. There's Scott Walsh, a top 5 talent center, projected to go at 65, but probably gonna go in the next 5 picks if we don't pick him. Or we could go with a tackle, which is a harder position to draft in Madden outside of the first round, but the best tackle is only a first to second round talent. Also, the tackles are a scheme fit. Walsh is not. But again, Walsh is a top 5 talent. The others aren't. We're gonna go with Walsh. It's not really that hard of a decision. He doesn't look like the best top 5 talent ever, but I think he'll be like 4 or 5 unless this is a horrible draft. He is number 4. I would guess like a 77, 78. We've had some horrible draft classes, like the overall class. This unfortunately might be another, but he does look good. I don't know. I think he's like a 78, which we will gladly take. Gonna be our starting right guard. And then round 2, I wouldn't assume there's gonna be a tackle still. No. Ooh, although Manuel looks kind of decent. Great strength, good power, elite name. I mean, is this guy actually better than a day 3 talent? We're not gonna take him yet, but it's a crazy name. Ooh, Cortland Fox, first to second round talent, day 3 projected guard, or UDFA, well, ranked 220, so day 3 projected guard. And then, I don't know what else we need. There isn't really a lineman for us to take for a while, so I guess we'll just go Marion Hancock. Looks kind of good as long as he isn't the stiffest corner of all time. Is the cock stiff? Solid change of direction, poor speed, kind of stiff. Elite jumping though. I mean, it's a 39.3. I wouldn't say that's that elite, but that's very good. Elite might be a stretch though. I kind of like some of the players this year. There's Joshua Tucker at receiver, horrible at everything. Other than deep route, he is very good. Also ran a 4.24. I would say this could be a pick we trade, but we don't have the cap space, so that might be kind of tough. I might just reach on a linebacker, either Hayden or Newbie. I think they look better than Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick's the better athlete, it looks like. Barely better than Newbie, but definitely better than Hayden. Do we go Newbie? He's only 5'11". There just isn't really anyone I want here, so we'll just go Newbie. He looks fine. Rank 81. Yeah, that's about what I expected. All right, now, you know what? I'll just go with Manuel because he has a funny name. He sucks, but I'm not surprised. Just want him for morale reasons. And now let's go Cortland Fox, first to second round talent. Don't know who we're gonna start at left tackle this year. Probably not Fox at 6'2", but we'll figure it out. But here's how the draft went this year. This is the best player we've drafted so far, I'm pretty sure. Scott Walsh, 79 overall at guard. He was a 78 at center. That was a good call. Again, not a scheme fit, but still a 73 overall at left or at guard, which I think the left tackle would have been maybe a little higher. We could have gone Monroe, but like not a scheme fit. Yeah, Ryan's was a 74, so a little higher, but I'd rather have the 79 overall, 73 scheme fit. So good pick there. Newbie's a 71, he's whatever. He would be a higher overall if we moved him to safety. He would be a 74. We just really don't need depth at safety anymore. And then both guards are solid. Manuel went up 2 overall when I moved him into guard, and then Fox is a 73. Of course, we still got to find out who we're going to play at left tackle. I guess it could almost be Walsh. I mean, 6'3" is at least better than 6'2". Still not great though. We'll figure it out. Also, Marion Hancock, we did end up getting him, and he is a 73 overall with Hidden Dev. I think he was ranked 50 on the dot, so could be a future starter for us in the late 5th. So very good draft. Number 4, number 50 at least. Pretty good, actually, but the first pick was really good. And this was actually a good class, 83 overall. So there was actually, wait. Oh, he went at 23. We had 27. I thought we had 17 for a second for some reason, but I was gonna say, how'd I miss him? But I won't complain with getting a 79 overall either. But all right, heading into year 5, we are a 91 overall. We are very good. This is a ridiculous team. We have 399 overalls on offense. Bowers, Genty, and St. Brown. So Mendoza could be an MVP option this year. The O-line still worries me a little bit, but it should develop. I did end up putting Walsh at left tackle. We didn't really have a better option. I didn't trust Hall to do it necessarily, and we're gonna start Fox at right guard because he should develop quicker than Cummins. And then the defense is good, 89 overall. I like our pass rush still. Just hopefully this defensive playbook does better than our last one. I forgot to check again where we ranked for sacks, though. I don't know why I keep forgetting that, because it should be one of the best. Like, Verse is rank 4 for left, and Crosby is probably the same for right, rank 3 for right. So we have 2 top 10 overall edge rushers. I don't know why Crosby's wearing 73. When did that happen? What? I guess maybe when I obviously traded him to the Ravens and then traded him back. But this should be our best year so far. Gotta check where we rank. I would assume it's number 1. We are the highest overall in the league by 3. There are a few 88s, but I don't see an 89 unless I'm blind. We are easily the best roster in the league. Now, will we actually get rewarded for building this good of a team? We'll find out. Let's get to the midseason, and I'm gonna assume we might be underperforming at the midseason, unfortunately. It's just about the second half of the year. At least, again, I would assume. But all right, we are 4-3 at the midseason. Could be worse. That's about what I expected, though. Ooh, Mendoza, not great start to the year. Only 62 completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 6 picks. Already sacked 24 times through 7 games. Not ideal. Okay, yeah, Walsh isn't doing great at left tackle. On pace for 26 sacks allowed, something like that. Somewhere around there. Wow, that was a good guess. 26.7. So, not great. Same with Peterson, on pace for like 12 or 13. Yeah, not great from our O-line, but that's kind of expected, unfortunately. But we have some monster re-signings this year. We have Ashton Genty and Fernando Mendoza. Also, Chris Roland Wallace, Cliff Gates, who... Oh, I thought that said right tackle. I was like, that wasn't his name. Max Crosby, I guess Dorian Stewart, Mike Washington, Omar Spates. There's our right tackle. Lucas Hall, Michael Mayer. Damn, we do not have the money for this. I'll go player friendly for Mendoza. 5 years, 301. We don't even have the cap for that. 5 years, 295. He takes it. Okay, good. That's not cheap. That's like 60 a year, right? But better than not getting him back yet and having to pay him more money at the end of the year once he develops more, hopefully. If he starts playing better, he will. And then we can restructure deals at the end of the year, I'm sure. So we should be able to get Genty and Crosby back if he doesn't retire. I'm a little worried, though. I'm not gonna lie. This might be our Super Bowl or bust year. So let's get to the end of the year. We're not gonna bench anyone. I would bench someone on the O-line, but like we don't have anyone to really replace these guys with. So we'll see how we do. Okay, we go 12-5 and we get a first round bye once again. We were better in the second half than the first, thankfully, because we were not very good in the first. Went from 4-3 to 8-2, something like that. However, our defense sucked again. Why? What is the problem? I thought the Rams defensive playbook was good. Should I just switch to the Panthers? The last 2 times I've used it, it's worked. And if it works, it works. We'll see. 4,700 yards for Mendoza, though. 39 touchdowns to 13 picks, if I can get the words out. Not a great completion percentage, but very good year. Probably not an MVP season in Madden, though, which is a little disappointing in the Bengals offense. But Ashton Genty still almost hit 1,200 yards in the Bengals offense. 6 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns. Holy. 1,450 for St. Brown, though. 12 touchdowns. Bowers, almost 1,100, 10 touchdowns. Almost 1,100 for Watson, 650 for Mayer. And blocking, Walsh did better in the second half of the year. Same with Peterson. Our line as a whole did much better in the second half of the year. But Dean, 121 tackles, 11 TFLs for Crosby, 17.5 sacks for Verse, 11 for Crosby, 9 for Gates, 6 for Gallery. They have the same face. Hit me with the Ket stare or something. But 2 picks for Dean, Roland Wallace, Porter, McCoy, 1 for a couple couple players. We'll take it. I didn't know Medina was going to play so much. Oh, I think he was our sub linebacker. Same with Newbie, though. I mean, I'm glad he played as a rookie. Up to a 76, that's not bad. How does his defense work? Like, in what world does Newbie get on the field? Where was he for any position? Wasn't the 2 at any linebacker spot? Wasn't the sub linebacker? Where was he? How does this work? Like, I don't get it, but sure, I won't complain. Just confused. MVP goes to Michael Penix. As a Michael Penix believer, I don't know about that. Mendoza at 4, though. I see nobody for Offensive Player of the Year. Really? Jared Verse 2 for Defensive Player of the Year. And Newbie 5 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I was gonna say no Medina, but he's not a rookie anymore. 5 9-8 teams in the playoffs in the NFC. Whoever whoever created the simulation engine for this game, I don't know how that works, but they need to be like tried for some kind of crime. Like, in what world? You know what? I'm just gonna switch the defensive playbook to the Panthers right now. This was a weird defense, and I don't like things that confuse me, so I'm going wherever it is, the Panthers. Sure. We are 7 overall better than the Texans. We have a 10 overall better offense, 2 better overall defense. If we don't win this goddamn game, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, we win 28-14. Thank God, bro. We are gonna be facing the team that took us out of the playoffs last year in the conference championship. Our division rival, the Kansas City Chiefs, at 10-7. Just bold prediction, is the NFC Conference Championship 2 9-8 teams? 0. Okay, they didn't win. Well, I guess maybe 1 or 2 of them won, but they didn't make it to the conference championship. 2 maybe deserving teams, although they're probably low overalls, at least the Falcons. Whatever. Can we move on to our first Super Bowl since 2002, I guess? 3, whatever year it was. We take down the Chiefs 28-20. I don't know whose idea it was to put silver on white where it says 28 for us. That's a little hard to read, but we are going to be moving on to the Super Bowl, and we are going to be facing the Atlanta Falcons. 2 teams that have had it pretty rough lately. Also, the Falcons had a better record than us, despite being 6 overall worse. Love that. How are they looking here? Still have Bijan Robinson, Jalen Walker. They still have Jesse Bates, Drake London, Michael Penn. This is just the Falcons. Have they changed anything? I guess they added Princely Umanmielen, but like, that's about it. And they drafted some players, obviously. They signed Patrick Paul, but that's not really a major signing. They've like, how is this team in the Super Bowl? It's the current Falcons, pretty much. I say that and we're gonna lose to them. But all right, we'll jump in and watch it simulate. We need a gosh darn long snapper. Get ready to learn long snapper, Emmanuel Sanchez. Sure, don't even know who you are, but let's see if we can get it done. We'll watch it simulate. Already in year 5? We'll see. But all right, here we go in Super Bowl 67? Something, maybe 66? I don't know, somewhere around there. Raiders versus Falcons. Let's jump to the end of the game and we'll see if we can get it done. The Falcons do score first. They scored 3 times, making it 17-0. Great start for us. 20-0. All right, cool. We score in the third to make it 20-7. 20-14. 23-14. It's 23-21 in the fourth. We get the ball back, and that's gonna do it. We almost complete the comeback. What happened in the first quarter? First half, we didn't score until the third. I love Madden Simulation again. We were 6 overall better. Awesome. Love that. All right, well, usually when you say season Super Bowl or bust, you want to, win the Super Bowl and not lose it, because now we have negative 15 mil in cap, and we have to re-sign Ashton Genty, still Chris Roland Wallace, Cliff Gates, Dorian Stewart we might bring back, Lucas Hall. We'll see. Do we still have Max Crosby? We don't. He does finally retire. I guess I say finally. He wasn't that old, but you know what? We'll try to extend our window. I think we're just going to restructure everything. This might really screw us in the future, but I want to see if we can get it done soon. Let's restructure like everything, and we'll see what we can do with this money. We're up to 43 mil. That's not bad. Genty, I don't want to risk it. I'm going to go player friendly. I'll bump the bonus down a little bit, but I'll up the salary a little bit. We'll go 6 years, 114. He does take it. Good. Roland Wallace Wallace has been really good. Is Lucas Hall worth paying 20 mil a year? He was so good this year. I just don't know if I trust him to repeat it. I would go 2 years, 41. He takes it. Okay, good. And now we're out of cap space. I want Roland Wallace back. He's been so good. Well, has he been actually? He's 3 total picks for us, 9 total pass deflections, lots of tackles, but you know what? We're fine. Maybe just recency bias. But yeah, I guess that's really all we can bring back, unfortunately. So I'm not going to restructure any more of those deals. I don't want to make our future even more bleak. Although, how bad would it be? Genty? Don't look at that 2031 number. That might be a rough year. But all right, let's get to the draft. Although randomly 5 mil more showed up. Is there like a good TE2? Nah, not really. We can just draft one, I think, maybe. Kenyon Sadiq with no dev trait really doesn't hit the same. I really wish, for the millionth time, why can you not create players and give them a dev trait? Why can you not edit dev trait outside of franchise? It's so important in franchise. I have a theory they just make it so you can't edit it, just so that's a reason to get the next year's game. Like, just because nothing's really different about next year's game. It's just the roster update and dev trait updates creates kind of a quality of life thing with rookies and stuff and contracts and all that. That's my theory. I don't know. Paying $80 a year for a roster update. Awesome. Couldn't imagine why I'm not an EA partner or whatever. But all right, this year we pick at 31. And how are we feeling about, I don't know, maybe a trade up? We do actually have needs though. That's the only issue. Nah, we've traded too many. Well, we haven't traded that many picks, but I mean, we did trade a first and a second last year. So at 31, there is a good linebacker. Not that we really need a linebacker. Well, I mean, we kind of do. At least like a true great one. Probably not going to do that round 1 though. Ooh, Max Pitts is still here. We wouldn't need to transition him into an edge. There's Thad Callaway I was looking at. Dante Hawthorne is a year younger. Looks a little worse though. Is he more athletic? Slightly, but he has worse strength than Callaway. Yeah, I'll just go Callaway and transition him into an actual edge as he should be. Rank 23. Got him at 31. Normal dev though. Not surprising really. But I think 23 is the best a second to third can be, so we'll take it. Or first to second, you know what I mean. But all right, there is a tight end left, Joshua Burris. We need a tight end too. Although, okay, we did lose our tight end 2 or our tight end 3. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. I forgot. I was like, oh, we have a 75 overall star dev tight end 2 on the roster, but it's just playing the tackle, Maurice Dunn at tight end 2, which I don't know how he's a 75 overall at tight end, but sure. Anyway, that could be an option then. We could go with Damian Burrell, another power guard. Can we get a good scheme fit guard, please? Is that too much to ask? Maybe. Ooh, Ray Curtis and Christian Spiegel might be better. Not great in coverage, but great against the run. Curtis is a year younger though. Who's the better athlete? Spiegel by a little bit. Christensen's the best athlete out of the group. He's just not great. Should we go Spiegel? Do we think we could get him round 3? Maybe. Yeah, we'll go with the tight end here. He's the last one that looks even decent. I thought Means was going to be good. He just doesn't have great awareness, but he's a better route runner. Well, him and Burris are close. We'll go Burris though. It's a fine pick. Rank 76, got him at 63. That's okay. We're just really drafting for need in this draft because we kind of have some. And Spiegel is still here. I'm kind of surprised he is. Rank 42. We'll take that. Honestly thought he would be a little better, and he doesn't have a dev trait. All right, well, I got excited for nothing. That's great. Love getting my hopes up just to be disappointed. All right, let's go Alvarado, and then trade up for Burrell, just in case. Alvarado's 54. Who picks next? The Falcons. All right, we'll trade our 5 and 6 for this pick, and we will take Damian Burrell from NC State. First round talent. Doesn't really look like one, honestly. He only has good strength. He does have elite change direction, but I will believe the ranking. Rank 17, hidden development, good player. Sure. You know what? Let's take a Mr. Irrelevant. Hold on. We'll give the Falcons a free pick for beating us in the Super Bowl. They take someone we probably could have taken. It was a tackle. I was gonna look at tackle. I don't know if he was actually good, but I hope not. Ramon Colon. What a name. Unfortunately, he looks horrible. What if I just take the worst player I can find? I don't know if I want to do that. Although, Alejandro Flores, 491 as a vertical threat tight end. Holy. He at least has C awareness, but he has an F rating for almost everything. everything, or at least potentially. I don't even want to take him. I'm disgusted even looking at him. I'm gonna be boring as hell. Jonathan Villarreal, I don't know how you say that, but sure. But all right, here's how the draft went. It was fine. I still gotta change Callaway into more of a pass rusher. I'll keep him a 74 overall, but gotta drop like 30 pounds at least. Then Joshua Burris, he's okay at least. Christian Spiegel, wish he had hidden, but Alvarado and Burrell kind of saved this draft for us. Villarreal's whatever. So it was fine for not picking until 31. There was a good QB, rank 8, or not rank 84, 84 overall. To the Bengals? Did they let Joe Burrow go, or are they going 2 QBs? Okay, they did let Joe Burrow go. It wouldn't surprise me if they still had him and took the QB in Madden, because that's the CPU's logic. What are the Colts cooking? When did they draft this guy? Number 7 overall. Oh, I guess Shuck's playing with +7 morale, but he's still doing well. I don't know, whatever. Again, I love this game if y'all couldn't tell. Okay, no, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna move Sally to edge. Either Sally or, hold on, does Gallery drop if he moves out to edge? Because I like the superstar dev. If he drops 1, I think I'll keep him there. He drops 2. Sally only drops 1. I'm gonna bulk Callaway back up, and he's gonna be our DT3. I gotta remember the ratings I originally had on him, or he originally had. I think I can. Yeah, okay. What's he at defensive tackle? 77? Okay. I like that more, for sure. And I'll slim Sally down a little bit. Maybe like 270, have him lose 15 pounds. That works. Okay, we're having to do some things, but I like that. Made him a little quicker, a little bit more of a pass rusher than just a run stopper. Is that kind of cheating? Well, now we're keeping him the same overall, and it makes sense, so I think that's fine. But here we are heading into year 6. We are a 91 overall once again at the start of the year, despite losing a few players this year. We're not a great scheme fit on offense. I feel like we should switch to a power blocking scheme with 4 of our linemen being power blockers. I'm pretty actually, no, our guards are pass blockers, right? So I don't know. I don't think we'll be a great fit for any offense. Yeah, I guess West Coast zone run is the best at 65. I mean, close enough. Multiple zone run, West Coast zone run, that's like 50% maybe, at least for the playbook, the scheme matching the playbook, you know what I mean. But we have a 95 overall offense heading into the season. Is this gonna be a 99 overall offense at some point? I mean, it could be if our O-line develops a little better. That almost makes me want to start Burrell over Fox, even though Fox did well, right? He was pretty good. Yeah, 4 sacks from right guard, especially in the Bengals offense. Pretty good. Oh yeah, also we have some fun players kinda. Beltran developed a decent bit, up to a 76 as our RB2. Funny enough, he's not a receiving back archetype, even though he was a receiver and a higher overall at receiver than running back. He only has 70 catching. I didn't realize how bad it was. How was he a better overall at receiver? He's not anymore, but he's still a 70 somehow. Whatever, he'll be our RB2, and then Burris is gonna get a lot of receptions, maybe even like 500 yards as a rookie, so we'll see how he does. And yeah, the defense is pretty good, 88 overall. We should, if I can stay on the screen, hopefully still have a good pass rush. I mean, it hasn't been as good as it should at any point, but maybe it can get there this year with a new defensive playbook. I don't know. I'm being hopeful. I'm trying to be. Oh yeah, also Hancock gained superstar, I think, unless he just had, he might have just had it. I forgot he was a rookie last year. So yeah, I think he just had superstar. So we're gonna start him over Darian Porter. I'm a big Darian Porter believer in real life, but hasn't really developed here. He's not bad. He's an 84. It's just Hancock's gonna pass him up quick, and he's almost 30. So yeah, we'll go for upside there, go for potential, but I love how we're looking. We'll get to the midseason once again, and this should, keyword should, be a very good first round bye season. And we should have probably the best offense and one of the best defenses in the league. All right, man, I don't know what's wrong with our defense. We are 31st. We are allowing 31.8 points per game. Why? In what world? Even with maybe a bad defensive, it's not letting me scroll down. Hello? I love this game. I wanted to check out our stats. Mendoza's doing well. Genty, 8.5 yards per carry. That's like receiving yards numbers. That's something. Ooh, Burris already 270 yards. Only star dev, but that's fine. Okay, I want to look at our defense. I want to investigate. Okay, Verse is doing well. Sally has half a sack as an edge rusher so far. I mean, I don't know about him playing stand-up edge, but that's what we're doing with him. He's not a bad. He's a 77 overall speed rusher, 74 power. So he should be a decent, maybe a decent stand-up edge. I don't know. Only 2 picks on the year. All right, maybe the Panthers defense isn't the move. We'll see at the end. We'll reassess at the the end of the year. My fault. But for re-signings, we have negative 14 mil. That was kind of to be expected. We have Darren Gallery, Dylan Peterson, Josh Beltran, Tyler Linderbaum, Cesar Geraldo, we probably won't bring back. That was kind of a wasted pick. I don't know, I was hoping he would have a better dev trait, and then we didn't really need him. We kind of needed an upgrade. Darian Porter, we probably won't bring back. Nakobe Dean, we'll see. Christian Watson, Dante Claiborne, damn, Evan Williams. A lot of players for being 14 mil in the hole. That's fun. But I think we'll just get to the end of the year. I'm not going to mess with anything. This might just be a punting to next year type of year, because I kind of expected another very much underperforming season, just because that's how this game goes, for whatever reason. This game doesn't drive me insane or anything. Okay, we do sneak into the playoffs at least, but not nearly as good as we should have been. We go 10-7, 7 overall better than the team we're taking on in the wild card. That's cool. 28th defense. All right, let's change it again. Let's go, I don't know, the Patriots? People tell me to use the Bucks, and it's always dead ass last when I use the Bucks. So Cardinals? We'll try that. That one's worked for me before, I think. Maybe. All right, let's see what happened. Mendoza, 5,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, 8 picks. Very good season. Ashton Genty, 869 yards, 5.4 per carry, 21 rushing touchdowns. Should we lean more back into the run game? I mean, nah, the more pass heavy's working. Almost 1,600 yards and 10 touchdowns for St. Brown, 1,250 and 10 for Bowers, 1,006 for Watson, 750 for Genty, almost 700 for Burris. Damn. Little bit pass heavy when your wide receiver 5 is almost getting 600 yards. Well, not wide receiver, but fifth receiving option is almost getting 700 yards. You know what I'm trying to say. But blocking, this is like the best blocking I've ever seen for the Bengals offense. But 153 tackles for Dean, 12 TFLs for Verse, 12 sacks for Verse, 9.5 for Dexter, 6.5 for Gallery. Sally got 3. All right, we need an edge rusher. Still. McCoy and Medina had 2 picks though, one for 5 different players, so we'll take 9. All right, we were top 7 for sacks. We'll take that. And at least mid for interceptions. But guess what? That doesn't matter. We switched playbooks anyway, so why am I even checking? I don't know. But MVP, I don't know if this is going to be the year for Mendoza. He was really good, but was he good enough to win it in Madden? He wasn't. Devin Miller wins it for the Browns. Mendoza at 2. Damn. But it's coming, I think. Genty at 2. Again, in the Bengals offense. That's crazy. Mendoza at 7. Jalen Carter on the Bengals wins Defensive Player of the Year. No Raiders, shocker. But Burris at 6 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm surprised he wasn't higher. And Callaway 3 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I didn't even know he played, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he got 4 sacks. Maybe he should have been our edge 1 or edge 2. But all right, we are gonna be taking on the Texans in the wild card. I'm gonna be real, I don't know if I have much hope, but sometimes the years where you underperform in the playoffs or underperform in the regular season is when you do better in the playoffs in Madden. There are 2 8-9 teams in the playoffs this year, not even 9-8, 8-9, and we're maybe gonna lose to one of them. No, we smack the Texans as we should. Again, 7 overall better, so we beat them 48-20. We'll take it. Now I want to see at a 94 overall, how much are we the highest by? I saw the Bengals are a 91. I'm gonna be real, I'm surprised there's even another team above a 90. We're 3 overall better than them, but 5 overall better than the 3rd best team in the league. So I think it's safe to say we have a pretty good roster, and we should be able to win a Super Bowl with this team. Yet we went 10-7. Awesome. But all right, can we beat the New York Jets, who were 6 overall worse than us, but had 2 more wins than us somehow? Nah, we lose. I love Madden, but we still have 4 more years, right? 4 more chances at a Super Bowl win. It's not over yet. Goddamn Browns are in the Super Bowl at this point. Like, we should be able to get it done soon. But we have negative 31 mil in cap. That's not great. Can we restructure any deals? I feel like we restructured a lot of them last year. Okay, yeah, Mendoza, that'll save a lot. St. Brown, that'll save a lot. And we have a decent amount of cap next year, so we might as well do this. Ooh, but that's about it. We don't have much. We're gonna lose some players this year. But hey, sometimes the worse overall you have in simulation, as I always say, the better you do, for God knows what reason. So we can't bring Gallery back. We can't bring Peterson back. I kind of want to keep Beltran, even though he's not the most important. I just think he's interesting. It's not like there are many players we could keep here anyway. I maybe want to keep Dean, so let's See if there are any like tiny restructures we can make, because we're close. That's about it, I think. Should we tag someone? We could tag like Linderbaum or something. I want to keep Dean first though. I want to find a way. See, I don't know if these guys are due for deals, but Tovar would save us a mil. Williams deals up, so that wouldn't do anything. McIntosh, that would save us a little bit. All this for him to reject us, I would cry, but 2 years, 23, he does take it. We're really having to do some things here to keep our team kinda together. It'll save 2 mil if we restructure him, and that's enough to be able to tag Linderbaum for some reason. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't know why this is a feature, but we'll take it. We'll go way into the negatives as every other team is, so I think it evens out. Negative 18 mil could be worse, but let's get to the draft once again, and we actually kinda have a couple needs now. A receiver, I guess that's about it. We have one need now, maybe a defensive tackle and an edge rusher. Other than that, we'll just fill out depth. Maybe a depth safety, because we only have 2 on the roster, I'm pretty sure, unless Cabrera's one, but he's only a 63. Yeah, so we might even trade down in the first round just to pick up a bunch of picks. Ooh, although, I don't know, if Dylan Jackson's still there, might have to take him. We really don't need O-line anymore. It does pretty well, so we probably won't. But all right, in the draft, we pick at 26, and like I said, we're probably gonna trade down. I focus scouted as few players, though. There's some edge rushers that could still be there. Childress is a first to second round talent. He's pretty good. Same with Harris. Harris is supposed to go earlier, though, so we would probably look at Childress, especially if we trade down. Then I focus scouted a safety. He's okay. I thought he would be better. He looks pretty good. I feel like I forgot what good safeties look like in Madden draft classes, because I don't know. I guess maybe the player ec in pursuit and the lack of an A coverage rating. I guess. Oh, this power back looks good. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's get to pick 26, and I definitely think we trade down. Again, Harris, good. We might trade down to 32, and if he's still there, we'll take him, because he actually has hidden dev, or not hidden dev, but he's 21 years old, which is like having hidden dev in Madden. But I think, oh no, he is the scheme fit. I was gonna say I think Childress is the scheme fit, but no, our left edge is power rusher. But I mean, either one we get, it's not the end of the world. Are the Rams interested? No, well, they're gonna be. Like, look at this. We are far from the only sinners in the league. Well, that's ironic with the Saints, and ironic with the Raiders, but whatever. Negative 11 for the Saints, negative 8 for the Seahawks. How are these teams so perfectly at 0? That's weird. 3 in a row? I don't know if I've ever seen that. For almost 6 in a row. Just the Chiefs have 60K. That's weird. How do you get perfectly 0? There are lots of teams. Okay, sure. But all right, we're getting 96 to move back from 26 to 32. Is the one edge rusher still here? I think he is. Okay, we'll go with Emmanuel Harris. Sure. Not a scheme fit, but I do like that he is a year younger than the other ones, so we'll take him. Rank 44. Okay. Ooh. No dev trait. Is the other one still here? He's not. Okay. That might not have been the right move. I thought he would be a little, but he looked pretty good. He had a lot of great ratings, A power moves. Well, let's go Victor Amaya. Rank 37, we'll take that. Hidden dev. Wish I could transfer that to the edge rusher. That's the bigger need. And our first 3rd round pick, there is a good tackle. There's a good tackle? What? Oh no, I was looking at guard. Never mind. I was gonna say. And let's look at receiver. We maybe should have looked earlier now that I think about it, but I don't know that there was a great one to begin with. I think I looked at receiver and didn't see one. We'll go with that. Eddie Foster, 6'6" playmaker. He looks terrible though. He's a good athlete, but that's it. We'll just go with Greenfield, I think. Or like Mike Wyatt looks pretty good. Rank 68, we'll take it. At defense, I thought he was gonna be even better. This is not a great draft. I'm not making the right choices. Okay, Sean Greenfield, rank 28. We'll take that, but damn. I'm probably just gonna take a ton of receivers because we have like 2 on the roster. But all right, here's how the draft went. We made a lot of picks this year. I kept trading down in like the 5th and 6th round because we're not gonna be able to sign any free agents in the preseason because we have no cap space. But I think we did okay. We made up for it with like Greenfield, and we picked, I think, 1 hidden dev receiver. Yeah, Hitchens, star dev, 71 overall. I mean, probably star dev. I guess maybe superstar. 98 speed, 99 excel, 98 agility. Holy. Man, I want to see what he would be at running back, but I don't want to reveal his overall. Well, I mean, I can just save him and then move him back. It's an easy solution. 72, okay. We'll keep him at receiver, but yeah, we got some okay depth. I knew Lang was going to be a 58 overall. I took him anyway. I always see these blocking tight ends that look decent, and then you take them and they're horrible. I mean, we knew he was a bad receiver, but he had like all A's to B's for blocking, and he ends up sucking still. And elite strength. I don't get it. Unironically, almost the same overall at tackle as he is at tight end. 54 at tackle, 58 at tight end. hand. Anyway, I probably wish we took the other edge rusher. I just didn't know how bad the guy we took was gonna be. I thought he would be pretty good. He looked pretty good, just wasn't. Although, you know, I think he was better than the other one. Childress is only a 73. Does have hidden though. You know what? It's fine. Neither of them were great options, it looks like. I should just always remember, speed rushers have a better chance of having hidden than power rushers, which is weird because most of the time power rushers are the ones that end up working out in the NFL. So that's kind of ass backwards, but what isn't in Madden? You know what I mean? What is right in this game? But yeah, okay draft. I like the amount of picks we made. I'm always a big sucker for like taking just a million picks. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If I was an actual GM, I would trade down so much, assuming I got fair offers. Like, fans would hate me because draft picks are lottery tickets anyway, even in the first round. I mean, you want earlier picks because better players there usually, but you never know. But man, heading into the year, despite losing quite a few players, we are still a 91 overall. This is a really good team, as I've been saying for like 3 years now. Just can we get a Super Bowl win? Can we get lucky enough to get a Super Bowl win is more the question. Also, Fernando Mendoza went up to X Factor. We'll see if he can hit a 99 overall by the end of this. It's gonna be close. He could. He's only 28. That's not too bad for QBs. He's a top 5 quarterback. Very good. And the defense is still solid. 89 overall. Really? We only have like 2 players higher than an 89. That's kind of crazy, but sure. And I mean, we were surprisingly somehow able to refill pretty much all the depth. I did have to move. I don't know if I had to do this, but I had to move a corner to receiver because we had too many corners and not enough receivers. He's a 35 overall. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Don't think he'll see the field, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, what is there to say? We're good. Just can we do as well as we should is the question. I mean, we'll find out. Let's get to the mid-season point once again, and let's hope we don't massively underperform yet again. Okay, we are 6-1 at the mid-season. We are doing very good so far. Our offense is so good that it doesn't matter that our defense is 18th still. Hopefully it gets better in the second half of the year, but it's not making it easy. Oh, Hitchens already 500 yards. Okay, he does have superstar. I kind of figured. I almost moved him to the practice squad. That would have been bad because we wouldn't have been able to sign him back. Oh, we actually have a decent amount of picks, decent amount of sacks. Surprised our defense isn't better, but sure. Ooh, for re-signings though, we have Jared Verse, Joshua Medina, Mello Sally, Traden Stukes, Dalton Johnson, Tyler Linderbaum, Javon Dexter, Lucas Hall, Brandon Glenn. That's tough. All right, well, let's start with the most important. Jared Verse will go 3 years, 124. He takes it. Cool. And then who's the second most important? I guess maybe Linderbaum or like Dexter? Probably Dexter. He's been pretty good the last couple years. Did the Bears trade him or something? He played year 1 in Baltimore. I don't know. Why did they do that? Isn't he their DT1? Okay, sure, but we'll go 2 years, 41. He takes it, and that's all we're going to be able to do for now. We might lose even more players. Our cap space is getting rough. I mean, I guess that'll happen when you restructure as much as we have, unfortunately, but let's get to the end of the year and let's hope we make the playoffs convincingly. Okay, we kind of do. We go 13-4 in year 7. Now, no first round bye, and we are coming off of 2 losses in a row. Not what you want to see. Also, 4 9-8 teams in the playoffs and an 8-9 team. Fun. How was our defense this year? 14th. Okay, better. It's probably never going to be great with how quick we score on offense. Our defense is just on the field a lot. But Mendoza, 5,400 yards, 41 touchdowns, 5 picks. Okay, I would be surprised if he doesn't win MVP this year. This should be the year, I hope. It could be number 2 again, maybe top 3, but it should be MVP. But 1,000 yards, 5.3 per carry, 19 touchdowns for Genty, 1,400 yards for both St. Brown and Bowers, 13 touchdowns for St. Brown, 15 for Bowers, 1,100 yards for Hitchens as a rookie. Only went up like 4 overall though with Superstar Dev. Does he not have Superstar and it's just a visual glitch? You know what? Again, wouldn't even surprise me knowing Madden. But how do you have that good of a year and you only go up 4 overall with Superstar at only 21 years old? I don't know. But Dean, 144 tackles, 15 TFLs for Verse, and sacks. Why did Sally play so much? I guess Harris wasn't good either. Sally was better this year, but still still terrible. Like 5.5 sacks is like getting 2 in real life. Now it's more like getting 3.5 maybe on a good day. So our pass rush still an issue despite having a 97 overall. I mean, it's hard to call it an issue in past years, but this year it wasn't great. But 3 picks for McCoy, 2 for Dean and Stukes, 1 for 3 different players. Where did we rank for sacks? Because I would bet it wasn't as high as it should be. Well, we were 5th. That was really 51 sacks. Did we have like 20 different players get a sack? Maybe. I guess, kinda. We just had a lot of different players play, I guess. I don't know. Sure, could be worse. But Fernando Mendoza does finally win MVP. We've accomplished like everything. We've gotten the Raiders playoff wins. We've gotten Fernando Mendoza MVP. We just need that Super Bowl win. We've made a Super Bowl. I mean, we would have won it if we didn't go out to a 17-0 deficit at the beginning, but what can you do? But Ashton Genty wins Offensive Player of the Year, Mendoza at 4, Bowers at 6, St. Brown at 9. If we don't win the Super Bowl, bro. Jalen Carter wins another Defensive Player of the Year on the Bengals, Verse at 6. Mitchell Hitchens does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, hopefully he at least gets a bunch of XP. I don't know what happened with his development. Do receivers just not develop very quick? I don't know. But Emmanuel Harris, 10 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I didn't set, I don't even want to get into it, whatever. We'll worry about it when we have to. For now, we're in the playoffs. We are the away team to the 9-8 Jacksonville Jaguars. This is like the 5th playoff game we've had where we are 7 overall better than the team we're playing. I mean, it's more like 3rd, but still shouldn't happen 3 times. I mean, this shouldn't be a close game at least. And let me see, we are still the highest overall team in the league by 2. Yeah, the Vikings are at 91 and the Bengals are at 91. There are a few 90s now. Like, teams are kind of catching us, or like every team is catching us, but we're still 2 overall better than anyone else. We should have been a first round bye, but at least we went 13-4. But can this be our year? I worry because, again, we're coming off 2 losses, but let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Can we beat the Jags? No. Go figure. All right, still 3 more chances, right? 3? Yeah, we're going into year 8. No Super Bowl win despite being the best roster in the league for like 4 years at this point. At least. It might be more, I think. The Falcons win another Super Bowl against the Jets. We've seen like every poverty franchise in the Super Bowl. I guess we've been in it, but we want to win one. But all right, negative 14 mil in cap. Can we restructure any deals? We can, but we got to be careful because we only have 29 mil next year. That at least opens up 5 mil. Okay, St. Brown, that'll save another 11, but we only have 17 next year. All right, let's... that's an expensive 5th-year option. Medina, he has been pretty good by Madden standards. Sally, hell no. Stukes is 31. We're probably going to let him go. He's been okay for us. He really hasn't been that good, actually. We might have kept him longer than we should. Johnson, we might let both Arizona DBs go. He was good at the start, but hasn't been good lately. We're going to have a lot of rookies this year. Oh, this is almost perfect. Oh, we need a little bit more cap. Okay, hold on. Can we restructure a deal for like $1 million saved this year? Is that a thing? 700K for Beltran and like 400K for Genty? Sure, why not? We'll keep Linderbaum. He doesn't take it with like max interest. I love this game. You're getting tagged again. We'll go into the negatives slightly. All right, we're losing quite a few players. Should we pick up the 5th year for Walsh? I guess, but that's really gonna screw us next year. I don't know. He's been really good and we need left tackle so important. We need to pick that up. We need that extra year because I don't think we'll be able to extend him, especially with him not interested. So once again, let's just get to the draft. Man, I'm almost wondering, do we want to risk it and just restructure everything and hope we can dig ourselves out next year? Because I mean, we could, although I guess there aren't that many more deals for us to restructure. It'd only be another like 12 mil for us to save, maybe a little more with some of the smaller deals. I don't know. We'll invest in our future. We won't restructure anymore because I don't know that this is an all-in season. Definitely not, but it could be. But all right, we pick at 24 this year, earlier than we should, and our needs this year are really, I guess, wide receiver 3, but we won't address that for a while. I guess we can move Roth back to corner. We can afford receivers now, I think. Maybe. I mean, he isn't much better at corner, though. But yeah, edge we're gonna look at. We need a good number 2. We haven't had a good number 2 since, I almost said Khalil Mack. No, since Max Crosby retired. So we need a good 2. And then our secondary is kind of depleted. We need a slot and a 4th corner. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get a 4th, but we need a free safety and maybe a strong safety. So maybe we will look at the 4th corner just because we could probably go with Amaya. But we'll get to 24. There's no background. Okay, there it is. But all right, who is available? We focus scout some safeties. They're mid. We focus scout Rowe. He's mid. I guess I would prefer Rowe, unless we want to take the chance on Beltran, but Rowe might be better. Yeah, I think so. Unless Rowe has hidden, which I guess he could, but I'd rather just go, or unless Beltran has hidden, but I'd rather just go Rowe, I think. Another power rusher, but there just really isn't a speed rusher this year. There's one guy with B finesse moves, and he's a projected UDFA. There's some right edges, actually, but day 3, actually. All right, we'll just go Rowe. Please have hidden, please. Rank 27, he's better than the last one we took. Normal development. I don't know, the last power rusher I've taken that had hidden dev. Actually, we might have taken one in this rebuild, but I don't remember. But it doesn't feel like many. All right, let's go Joey Burse, I guess. Sinclair looks pretty good too, but he's already 23. I'd rather not do that. Burse looks good. First to second round talent. A lot of the time, run support safeties do have hidden. I've also taken some that have normal. He might have normal with how our luck's going lately. Rank 23 though does have normal. Holy. Another. Why would we move down one spot for free? You know what? Just for offering that, I'm going to charge you a 7th round pick to move down one spot. And you'll take it and you'll like it. Because we need that 7th round pick. I traded one last year. We need all the depth we can get, really. Ooh. Dwayne, man, rank 19 got him at 121. Hold on. I just noticed the tags. Does he have NFL speed? 92 speed? Yeah, I think he has NFL speed. What do you mean? Shows knack for getting ball carrier to the ground. I bet he has like 47 tackling. Where's his tackle rating? Does it not show up here? Oh, wait, no, he has a tackle. That's surprising, but very good pick. Wait, did I even check if he had hidden dev? I don't think he did. I don't know. But all right, here's how we did in the draft this year. I mean, no dev. Did we get a single one, actually? I can't remember. I don't think we did, because Man had normal, even though he's a good overall. Maybe Gentry. I think Gentry did. Yeah, but that's it. We got Sean Alexander in the 7th round. Sure. So yeah, horribly unlucky with dev traits, but we got good players. I guess it's hard to say it was too unlucky because, I mean, we took a power rusher, a slot corner, a run support safety. Like, those are positions that don't have normal usually, or don't have hidden usually. So, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. We definitely got the steal of the draft in Dwayne Mann, though, so that's huge. But all right, heading into year 8, we are a 91 overall. Still good, very good. 95 offense, only an 87 defense. It should hopefully develop, though. We're starting a lot of young players, so it should, I think. Actually, I mean, our whole team is pretty young now. I guess we have a few older players, but most of our starters are like 25 and younger, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not most, but a decent bit. So we could be right back to like a 93, 94 overall by the end of this year. And of course, gotta check, where do we rank? We are the are we the highest? Overall, we are by 1. So not by much anymore, but we still do have the best roster, despite how many years in a row of having damn near negative cap space? Like 3, and losing a bunch of players. So we're still keeping it together, still trying to win that Super Bowl. So let's get into the season. We'll get to the mid-season point once again, and we'll just have to see how this year goes. But okay, we are 3-3 at the mid-season again. We have the 5th best offense in the league, but the 19th best defense. I think I'm just throwing in the towel on the defense. It's never going to be great. I mean, this year it makes sense. It's not the best on paper. Although, the Broncos have the same overall, and they have the 3rd best defense, so maybe I should try the Broncos playbook. Maybe I will if we have a bad defense at the end of the year. Man, I might bench or trade Burrell. He's not doing great this year, and he's not a scheme fit at all. We could do something goofy and trade him to a team where he would be a scheme fit and get someone who's a scheme fit for us, like the Eagles. Maybe. I don't know what their scheme is, actually, at least anymore. Whatever. For re-signings, we have negative 31 mil in cap, and we have to re-sign Brock Bowers, Marion Hancock, Joshua Newby, Cortland Fox, Tyler Linderbaum, Nakobe Dean. It might be over, I'm not gonna lie. No, you know what? It might be just getting started. Again, the worse team you have, the better you do most of the time, unless you have like a 12 overall team. Man, do we trade some players, or do we think we could make the playoffs this year? I don't know. I still think we can make the playoffs. Again, 5th offense, and our defense isn't too bad. So we're not going to give up on this year, but now that I'm saying this, we're going to miss the playoffs. Nah, we'll see. Let's get to the end of the year, and we'll hope for the best. It's really all you can do sometimes. Okay, good. Man, I'm not used to recording videos anymore. I've almost choked on nothing like 5 times, but we make the playoffs going 12-5. This is the first time we've maybe had a fair record. We are the highest overall team in the league, but not by much, so I get it. Actually, we might not be anymore. There are some 91s. Is there a 92? No, we still are. Okay, cool. But we had the 22nd defense in the league and the best offense. Broncos defense, maybe? I don't know. Fernando Mendoza, almost 5,500 yards, 43 touchdowns to 5 picks. This might be another MVP season for him. Ashton Genty, almost 900 yards on only 169 carries, 5.3 per carry, 18 touchdowns. 1,500 yards for St. Brown, 14 touchdowns, 1,400 for Bowers, 1,260 for Hitchens, almost 709 touchdowns for Burris. Even Genty almost got 500 receiving yards. That's crazy. But blocking, Greenfield wasn't great, but the rest of the line was pretty good. Especially Walsh, only 10 sacks in this offense is crazy. But Nakobe Dean, 152 tackles. How many career tackles does he have, I wonder? We'll have to go over like career totals at the end of this. Actually, maybe I should right now because we might lose Brock Bowers. That's something I kind of want to check. But 15 TFLs for Verse, 14 for Dexter, sacks 17 for Verse, 14 for Rowe as a rookie. Okay, I'm not going to complain about that, but this is the first year I've set edge as our 3-star position, and this is the first year we've actually had a rookie edge do well. I mean, again, that's fine. We'll take it. I'm glad, but why? Why this year and not any of the others? But 4 picks for McCoy led the team, 2 for Mann and Hancock, 1 for a couple players. MVP goes to Fernando Mendoza once again, and the Offensive Player of the Year, St. Brown at 3, Genty at 4, Jared Verse 5 for Defensive Player of the Year, and Defensive Rookie of the Year obviously goes to Al Rowe. Dwayne Mann at 3, Dylan Harrison at 5. I definitely remember who that is. Is that the safety? Maybe that's the safety. Burst at 8. Oh yeah, and career totals so far. Mendoza already 32,000 passing yards, 248 touchdown passes to only 63 picks. Is this the highest career passer rating of all time? It might be. Genty almost has 10,000 rushing yards in this offense, 123 touchdowns, 5.2 per carry. He only has 1 career fumble? How did I not notice that? That's insane. But 15,000 yards, 126 touchdowns for St. Brown, 10,000 yards for Bowers, crazy, and 1,250 tackles for Nakobe Dean. It's crazy the numbers you can put up when there are no injuries. 114 TFLs for Verse, and 117.5 sacks. Also, McCoy, 15 picks, pretty cool. Only 10 for Dean, I'm kind of surprised, but So pretty good numbers from our players. But anyway, we are going to be facing the Buffalo Bills in the wild card here. How many times have we seen them in the playoffs? I don't know. I feel like I've thought about them a lot in this rebuild. We could try their defense. They were 4th, allegedly. Probably not, but at least that's what it says. They were 5th, but I guess that's close. The Seahawks had the best defense. Should we try the Seahawks? I mean, it is probably the best defensive scheme in real life. It's the meta right now. I just don't know how it does in Madden, but we'll try it. I've been switching the playbook a lot, but we're trying to find one that works. It's what you got to do. So can we beat the Bills in the wild card here? Let's find out. We can, 41-38. Maybe the Seahawks defense isn't the move, but at least we won. You know, I gotta wonder, do the Seahawks still have a coach that's using the Seahawks defensive playbook? I would hope they haven't fired Mike McDonald, but you never know in Madden. They haven't. Okay, good. But now we are going to be taking on the Ravens. We are 6 overall better than them. This is not even a good roster, and they went 15-2. I just noticed that. That's awesome. I love how much overall matters in simulation. It's not like it's really the only thing you have control over when you simulate. Oh, their starting running back is Mike Washington. That's interesting. Oh, he's been really good. I mean, I'd rather have Genty, but he has been really good. But can we move on to the conference championship in year 8? We can. We win 38-34. Our defense, man. At least we're winning, but it should not have been that close with an 86 overall team. I mean, again, I guess they were 15-2, but they're not good on paper. Damn, Joshua Burris is already up to an 87 at only 24 years old. Sorry, that's random, but I was just looking at our roster. But we are going to be taking on our division rival, the Denver Broncos, in the conference championship. I feel like this is the first time we've seen them in the playoffs. We've seen the Chiefs. Have we seen the Chargers? I don't know, in these 10-year rebuilds, it's hard to remember. But let's see if we can move on to our second Super Bowl of the rebuild. I think this is our third conference championship, and we do move on to the Super Bowl, and you would never guess who we are playing. It is gonna be the Atlanta Falcons again. We win 38-26 over the Broncos, but can we get revenge for our Super Bowl loss against the Falcons last time? Oh yeah, and I want to check out some of our dev traits. We gained some this week. I saw at least one. I don't see any on offense, but it looks like Newbie got superstar. Rowe went straight from normal to superstar. McCoy finally got superstar. What's he ranked for corners? Last time I checked, he was 6. Now he's 4, so pretty good there. I think that's it, but that's pretty good. The one I'm most excited about is Rowe. Finally might have a number 2 edge. We need a long snapper, who's our wide receiver 6. Malik Benford. Isn't that the name of an actual receiver? I don't know, but we'll jump in, we'll watch it simulate, and can we finally get this team a Super Bowl win that has been deserving for so long at this point, which is crazy to say about the Raiders, but we have been here. So here we go in Super Bowl 69, 68. I don't even know what number the Super Bowl was this past year, and I literally have the Seahawks Super Bowl win shirt, so I don't know. I should know, but I don't remember. But let's jump to the end of the game. Can we finally get it done? It looked like we drove at first, but we do actually strike first this time, making it 7, now 14-0. This is kind of the opposite of last time. Now, hopefully we don't get the comeback from the Falcons that we did last time. We are up 28-10, now 35-10, 35-17, 38, 45-17. We are smoking them, and we finally get it done. 45-24 against Atlanta. Wait, it said we were 13-5? That doesn't make sense. Wouldn't we be 16-5? Like, why isn't it counting the other playoff games, but it's counting the Super Bowl? Who cares? Whatever. We finally get a Super Bowl win. So now we still have 2 more years. Let's see if we can get at least 1 more. So, I mean, now Fernando Mendoza, 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, he's doing pretty good. But I'm glad we won a Super Bowl this year, because this is where we are going to lose some key pieces to this team. Brock Bowers, Marion Hancock, I mean, I already listed them at the midseason. We're going to be losing a decent amount of players here, because I don't know if we can restructure any deals. I mean, maybe like Mendoza. No, we can't even restructure him, so we're just going to lose these guys. There's no real reason for us to restructure anyone. We'd rather just take the L this year, so let's get to the draft once again, and we're actually gonna need some stuff in this year's draft. Like, I guess last year we did too, but this year we're gonna have some big needs, probably. But alright, we of course pick at 32, and did I already go over what we're gonna look for? No more Brock Bowers, so we're actually gonna look for a 3rd receiver now, an actual slot receiver. I guess we need TE2, and maybe a center? Definitely a linebacker. We really only have Spiegel. A corner, I would maybe look for a safety, but Burse is gonna have to do, so we have a lot of needs. We might trade down. Depends on who's available here, and I'll have to remember all the needs we have. So at receiver, there's Maurice Bradham. He doesn't look bad. Elite acceleration, I like that. I wish he had better change of direction though. He looks solid for sure. Probably not keeping me from trading down though. At center, I focus scouted one of them, but he got picked. This is not a great IOL class, unfortunately. Calvin Pryor, the jet safety, is back. Of course, 3-4D end at edge. Ooh, one of our focus scouts was really good though. Cam Gore, 1st round talent. We might trade back and pick him first. I don't really see anyone great at any of the other positions. Unfortunately, I don't really see a good corner at all. My 3rd focus scout was Alfonso Thomas, but he's not great. Ooh, I kind of like Thurman Morgan. He might be the move. Not great in coverage, but I think good enough. We're really gonna have to scrap this year's team together if you couldn't tell. All right, who's interested? Nobody's offering a 2nd, just the Eagles, but that's a set. Wow. They are offering a 2nd in 2 years and a 3rd this year for our 1st round pick. Like, they need to revamp the trade offers so bad. In fact, a lot of these offers were like a 1st in 2 years. Why would we take this? That's like half the value it needs to be. Legitimately, I think like they're offering half value. But all right, we're getting a 4th to move from 32 to 38. For some reason, that doesn't seem worth it to me, but the value chart I'm looking at says that's fair. I don't know, with the 5th year, does it take the 5th year option into account that you're getting with pick 32? It must. I don't know. That's fine. Now with this pick, I think we're gonna go with the linebacker. He went already? Well, there's still some pretty good linebackers left. I'm not too upset. Should we go with Ben Black? Blythe, he's not a great athlete. Maybe there aren't great linebackers left. Braden Rowe looks, I don't think I've ever seen someone spell Braden like that, but he looks pretty good. Might go with him. His pursuit and block shed aren't great though. Those are two of the main ratings I look at. But he is fast. Sure. Ooh, rank 90. Not great. Maybe I should have listened to myself and paid attention to the two bad ratings I look at for linebackers. Oh well. I should have made I wish you could, favorite players. Is it called hold on. Whatever it is. I never use it for some reason, but just like marking players like you want to take them. Like I would mark a few and then look at who's supposed to go first. I should do that, but I never do for some reason. Anyway, Jed Aldridge, UDFA, he looks pretty good. We might take him at some point. Man, I might trade this pick away too. I don't see anyone that looks good. Noah Saunders looks fine, but we don't need a safety really. I mean, we kinda do, but not really. Roman looks pretty good. He has great speed. I like that, but sure, we'll take him. Rank 33, please have hidden. He does. Okay, good. I guess he's gonna be our slot corner. That works. I mean, we did take a slot last year, but we can probably play him outside. And then let's go with a receiver here. Is the slot guy still here? He isn't. I maybe should have taken him in the last round, but I mean, we needed the slot corner too, so it's tough. Is that one slot corner still here? He is not. So yeah, if we were gonna take one, we probably had to do it there. That's just how it goes sometimes. I guess we could have traded up, but we need all the picks we can get. I like Pete Clinton. He looks fine. And maybe Jaleel Walker. Is there a crazy athlete? Ooh, whoa. Derek Knox, 5 elite traits. We'll have to take him at some point too. I mean, we gotta pick a receiver. I don't know which one's the best, but we can't take all of them. Ooh. All right, we're gonna pick a tight end here. This might be kind of bold, but this guy looks really good. Rank 31, hidden dev, obviously, because he's a blocking tight end. I like that. All right, we managed. We survived. We didn't do great. I wish that first pick was better, but we got some decent players, for sure. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. Braden Rowe is at least a 71 when we moved him to outside linebacker. Not great, but it is what it is. And then Josh Roman, he's a 75 overall. He's pretty good. We'll move him to slot, like I said. I don't want to check his dev trait, so I would guess a 74. He is a 74. Okay. Marco Frazier, he's a 75. And then Jed Aldridge, he's a 74. He was ranked 35, I think. What would his overall be at center? Hopefully a 73. It might just be a 72, though. He is superstar dev. He's only a 71 at center, though. Maybe we start him at guard. We'll see. And then move someone else into center. And then Derek Knox, we got him. He's an okay receiver. Jamal Jackson, we got some decent depth. I wonder if there was a better receiver though. Oh, this was a horrific draft class. Cool. Let me see, how good were the receivers? I guess Avery Tillman was a little better, but he's also older. Mike Lewis would have been a better pick. I didn't even look at him, but that's it. What was so good about him? I guess he just probably had a lot of C ratings. I don't know. And good change of direction. Sure, whatever. But yeah, decent draft. Wish we made a better first pick, but it is what it is. We'll take it. But all right, now heading into year 9, second to last year. We are an 88 overall. We're looking solid. Not great anymore, but we could be right back in it soon. And again, for the millionth time, sometimes the lower overall you are, the better you do. But I like our draft. Other than Rowe, Roman developed a couple overall in the preseason. I kind of moved our O-line around. Aldridge is starting at right guard. Burrell actually didn't go down much, moving to center, which is weird. So he's our center. And again, I love that Rowe got superstar dev. We might finally have an edge too that does well. He did very well last year. I guess this is a new defensive playbook, so we'll see how he does, but should be better even, hopefully. But all right, I'm ready to get into the year. The one thing I wish we could have added is a slot receiver, but we're gonna play Burris in the slot, and Frazier is gonna be our tight end 50% of the time, our inline tight end at least. So I think those are our best four: St. Brown, Hitchens, Burris, Frazier, rather than St. Brown, Hitchens, Burris, Feldman, who isn't gonna develop because he's already 25. So we'll get to the mid-season and we should be pretty good. But all right, yep, go figure. We are 5-1, our best mid-season in a while, when we're the lowest overall we've been in a while. Shocker. We have the 8th best offense in the league, 22nd defense, but we're much better for yards. assuming it's averaging it right, because we've already had our bye week, so probably not. But we're doing pretty well. Those kind of numbers makes me think someone's underperforming somewhere. I guess Greenfield at right tackle isn't doing great. He wasn't good last year either. So we might trade him at some, probably not here if we're 5-1, but maybe this offseason. Oh, we only have 1 pick on the year. Yeah, that'll do it. But I mean, it could be worse. We're still doing very well. Now for re-signings, we have Scott Walsh, who isn't interested, Joshua Burris, who isn't interested, Damian Burrell, who isn't a scheme fit, but he is interested, Gabe Alvarado, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who might retire, Thad Callaway at defensive tackle, Christian Spiegel, Gervon Dexter. Okay, the big one is Scott Walsh. He's been probably one of our better performing players through the whole rebuild. He's not cheap though. He's asking 40 mil a year. Ooh. I mean, I think that's worth it though. 5 years, 203. He doesn't even take that. What's Burris ranked for tight ends? 14, he's fine. 5 years, 73. He also doesn't take it. Why did we just won a Super Bowl last year? Why does nobody want to stay for more money than neutral? Like, I don't know, but 3 years. Do we want to re-sign Burrell? Do I trust him? I can't remember. He had a bad first half of the year last year, right? But rebounded, kinda. He's been okay. I'll do 3 years, 48. Might move him back to guard at some point. Alvarado, how's he doing? Pretty good. Did he start last year? I can't remember. I'll go 2 years, 32. And I guess that's all we're gonna do for now. Maybe we'll keep Callaway. I'm surprised we don't have more cap this year though. That's the only thing. Actually, we should keep Dexter. I'll go 2 years, 38. He takes it. But yeah, again, I'm surprised we don't have more cap. We're down to only 8 mil and we still have to re-sign. I guess we offered Walsh and Burris, but St. Brown and Callaway and Spiegel we haven't offered yet. So we'll hope we can get out of it. But hey, I won't care too much if we can win back-to-back Super Bowls. We'll see how the rest of this year goes. Okay, we go 14-3 in year 9, and we're back up to a 91 overall. Some are saying we're back. I don't know if we're the highest overall, but we might be tied for it. I don't see a 92. Yeah, we're already back tied as the highest overall team in the league. That's crazy. Despite having negative 48 mil in cap last year or whatever it was, 40 something. But Mendoza, 50, almost 5,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 3 picks. I don't know if this will be enough to win his 3rd MVP in a row, but it could be. Genty was good. St. Brown, 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1260 for Hitchens, and 1 yard less for Burris. 1268 for Hitchens, 1267 for Burris. Interesting. Frazier, 630 yards. That's exactly what I wanted. He only has star though. That surprises me. But you know what? He might be our tight end 1 next year. We might let Burris go due to cap restrictions. We'll see. And then blocking was solid. Alvarado wasn't great, but the rest of the line was fine. And then Spiegel, 119 tackles, 16 TFLs for Rowe and Verse, 12.5 sacks for Rowe, 11 for Verse, 9.5 for Dexter. Good numbers there, but only 2 interceptions on the year. Just some playbooks don't get picks, but I'll take it because I think our defense was good. We were only 10th for sacks. Team's got a lot of sacks this year. 72 for the Lions. How do you get 72 sacks but only 1 pick? With that much pressure, you can't force more than 1 interception. Like, I love how realistic this game is. It makes a lot of sense. I guess maybe they're sacking them before the quarterback can even throw it. I don't know. Maybe that's the excuse. But MVP does go to Fernando Mendoza for the 3rd time in a row, beating out Josh Cochran. I'm guessing the Broncos quarterback at this point. Damn, most teams have non-real life QBs at this point. On the MVP list, just us, the Jags with Trevor Lawrence, the Falcons with Michael Penix, the 49ers with Jackson Dart, and the Titans with Cam Ward. But Mendoza 3 for Offensive Player of the Year. How many Offensive Player of the Years has this Carlos Alonso guy won? It feels like all of them. But St. Brown is 6, Genty at 9, Alro at 9 for Defensive Player of the Year. Marco Frazier does win Offensive Rookie of the Year, so definitely going to be our tight end 1 next year. And we'll just draft a slot receiver. Might even have to draft 2 because St. Brown might retire, or we might just not be able to re-sign him. But Braden Rowe wins Defensive Player of the Year. That's huge because he's not good. Josh Roman at 8. Braden Rowe only developed a little bit. He only went up 2 overall in a year where he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Again, glad he won it because he needs the XP and dev trait. But all right, we are going to be facing the Buffalo Bills in the wild card yet again. We are 4 overall better than them. They are an 8-9 team. There was only one 8-9 team in the playoffs this year and 3 9-8 teams. That's low for Madden. So can we beat them in the wild card? We can. 28-24. The Miami Dolphins in the divisional. What are they looking like at this point? Also, let me know if y'all would want to see a Dolphins 10-year rebuild because that's an interesting team. Oh, it looks like the Eagles signed Brock Bowers. That's scary. But they still have Devon Achane. They have Mason Graham. They still have Chris Johnson, Chop Robinson. Robinson. They have Chris Rowland Wallace, former Raider at this point. They ended up with Francis Mauigoa. Oh, they have Lucas Hall. They have a few former Raiders. But can we move on to yet another conference championship? I think our 4th of this rebuild. We can. We smoke the Dolphins 34-19, a 15-point win. And we are going to be battling the Pittsburgh Steelers for another shot at a Super Bowl win. Both of us were 14-3, and both of these teams actually have good rosters. That might be a first. And I was going to praise Madden Simulation for a second. Both NFC teams are 9-8 and are probably bad overalls. Maybe the Lions are good. Well, I don't know. Let me see. Lions are an 88. Both are 88s. Okay, I guess it could be worse. Those are like mid teams. Whatever. But let's see. Can we move on to our 2nd Super Bowl in a row? We cannot. It looks like it's going to be a Lions versus Steelers Super Bowl. But hey, we still have one more chance at our 2nd Super Bowl win. And we should have some cap space this year, I would hope. We might have some retirements, unfortunately. I don't know if I should even say what I'm thinking, who I'm hoping didn't retire. Okay, he didn't. Jared Verse is still here. Good. It looks like Amon-Ra St. Brown did retire, but I mean, Hitchens, I think, can take over as wide receiver 1. That's fine. We do need 2 other receivers now, though. Verse, we're going to let go, and Frazier's going to be tight end 1. He's up to an 82 with Superstar now, so that's nice. I don't love a blocking tight end as our tight end 1, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah, I forgot Aldridge has Superstar. I was going to say, do we have 2 Aldridges? No, Alvarado. Braden Rowe went straight up to Superstar. Didn't develop much, but at least he got Superstar, so we'll keep him as a starter next year, I think. Josh Roman has Superstar? Did he gain that or did he have it? He just had it, I think. Damn. Okay, we're looking good. So for needs, we're gonna need, like I said, receiver. Maybe tight end 2, but I want to keep Scott Walsh. He's the big worry I have here. He doesn't re-sign. We'll tag him. It's actually cheaper, 35 mil. We just can't restructure him. All right, let's get into salaries and we'll restructure everything we can because why not? I don't know how much we can restructure. It might not be a crazy amount, but better than nothing. Here's something. I wish once you tag players, you could keep trying to extend them. You know what I mean? Like throughout free agency, I wish you could try to work out a long-term agreement like teams do in real life. Because I want to extend Walsh so we can, you know, restructure him and free up a little money, but whatever. But yeah, Burris will let go. Callaway, I don't even know if we played him for some reason. No, I guess he did play. We'll keep him. 3 years, 47, and I think that's all we're going to be able to do. I guess we can maybe tag someone if we want, but oh yeah, Spiegel needs a deal. Maybe we'll check free agency, see if there's a little bit younger of a linebacker. Let's do that. Who's actually interested? So we have 15 mil. This is our first free agent attempt in a while. Ooh, we can afford a decent receiver. Rashard White, superstar development. Hold up, let me look at this receiver class because I did make it our focus position. It's not crazy good. It's good, but by the time we pick, all the first round talents might be gone. All right, let's go for Rashard White and we'll draft a linebacker, which didn't go well last year to be fair, but Rashard White, we do get him. Where was he from? Went to Oklahoma. What team was he with? The Ravens. Okay, so now in the draft, we'll just look at linebacker and I guess a third receiver if we can get a better one than Feldman, but that's about it. But we pick it 30 this year. Oh, and we might just have to go with the linebacker right off rip. Eddie Rodriguez, he looks pretty good. Do I just not know how to scout? Okay, well, he's not a crazy athlete. I was gonna say, do I not know how to scout linebackers? Because this guy looks like a top 5 talent, maybe. But, I mean, he ran a 4.52. He only has good speed, marginal acceleration, though. Really? Running a 4.52? That's pretty great to me at 241, but whatever. He looks good. I would guess top 10-ish, 15. Okay. Wow, we are unlucky with dev traits lately. Good lord. Okay. At least he's good, but damn. I might just go with another. Either Abrams looks pretty good, does at least have the block shedding, not great tackle, but I feel like block shedding is the most important. It's either Abrams or Collins, but Collins has bad block shed. I like Abrams, rank 66, but does have hidden. I don't know, he's a good third. I was hoping he would be a little better overall. And round 3, I guess we'll just take receivers for the rest of the draft. Eric Cooper looks fine. Should we go with a physical or a deep threat or something, just so there's a better chance of hitting. We will at the next pick. Eric Cooper, he's fine. Rank 80, got him at 94, no dev trait. This was an okay draft. We've just been so unlucky lately, other than winning a Super Bowl. But with the draft picks, we've been unlucky, is what I mean. But all right, here we are heading into the final season. This has been a fun rebuild, if I ignore my frustrations with Madden. We have a 90 overall team heading into the final year, 93 overall offense, 88 overall defense. Both sides of the ball should develop even more. I still like how we're looking. Like, we've circled back to being a pretty young team again, with how many players we've had to let go due to cap reasons, but we'll see if we can win our second Super Bowl of the rebuild. We still have a few original Raiders: Fernando Mendoza, Ashton Genty, Jermon McCoy, I guess Jervon Dexter, depending on how you want to look at it. We added him in the first off season, but I mean, not really a Raider, but was here for the whole rebuild. So enough yapping, let's get into this final season. I'll get to the mid-season just to make sure everything's going all right, but we'll hope for the best. Okay, wow, I did not think we would make the playoffs this year. We were 2-4 at the mid-season, but we end up going 12-5. Fernando Mendoza, very good season. Once again, could be an MVP year. Ashton Genty hit 1,000 yards in this offense, 1,300 yards and 23 touchdowns for White, 1,260 for Hitchens. Blocking was very good. Abrams, 149 tackles. I decided to start him just because he does have hidden dev. Probably worked out well in terms of overall, so we'll take that. But 10 TFLs for Verse, 14 sacks for Verse, 12.5 for Rowe, 8.5 for Dexter, 7.5 for our other Rowe, Braden Rowe. I forgot we had 2. Wait, I guess he played. Oh yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, I guess he played a bunch too, but I'm slow. I forgot who we were starting. I guess Rodriguez did play a lot too, though, so we played all 3. But 3 picks for Roman and McCoy, 2 for Burst and Goings, 1 for Cabrera. We don't win MVP in the last year, though. Fernando Mendoza at 2. Easton Sexton wins it for the Saints. All right. White at 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. We're getting cut. Mendoza at 4, Genty at 6. Nobody for Defensive Player of the Year. No Verse. That's tough. Abrams at 3 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Rodriguez at 5. But good final year. Now, I mean, we're back up to a 93 overall. Are we still the highest overall team? We might be. I don't see anyone close. I see some 90s, but we are 3 overall better than any team. But we'll just kind of speed through the playoffs here. If we lose, we lose. We already won our Super Bowl, but a second one would be nice. We are going to be facing our division rival, the LA Chargers. We've gotten a lot of playoff wins in this rebuild. We have absolutely made the Raiders I was going to say 20 times better team, but that doesn't even feel like enough. 100 times better team. I don't know. We're doing a lot more than the Raiders do in real life. I say that and we're going to lose here. Okay.